Hello, Philadelphia! I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Live from the Xfinity studio. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday to all across the Delaware Valley. This is the Anthony Gargano Show presented by the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app and our friends at Wawa. Oh, well, good morning. Hope everybody is having a good day. It's a beautiful day out there. Really is, except for the allergies, which are clanking. All right, lots to do, lots to get to. Nola. Oh, Aaron Nola. Nice. 2 really good starts in a row. Look at him. 8 strikeouts last night. I was worried last night going into the Padres because he had pitched against the Padres just a week ago in his last start. And usually when you go back-to-back starts like that, a team gets a beat on you. And I was particularly worried about Sheets and Merrill, the lefties. Sheets hits the home run, but that was it. He struck out 8 against San Diego. That was a great night. And what a night at the Yard. I think we all kind of needed that. They needed to win at home. I know that Bohm grounded into 2 double plays, but, you got Duran coming in, the Tarantula, the theater. It was awesome. It was a good night, a good win for the Phillies. Even better sign that Aaron Nola pitched as well as he did. So we'll get into some fighting today. And I said to VG, that hockey game was awesome last night. It just made me long for Flyers. Like, man, I really hope that this thing goes the way it's arcing and the way it's projecting to go, because there's nothing like that Stanley Cup Finals, man. It was just great theater last night. I love that game. It was back and forth. It was high scoring. Vegas first, Carolina's up 2-0. Vegas comes back, takes a 3-2 lead. Carolina ties it. Vegas goes up 4-3. Carolina ties it. And then with just 2 minutes and change, they score the game winner, and it was a great hockey game, man. It was awesome. We got Spurs and OKC tonight, which I can't wait for. The finals are great. Like that series with OKC and San Antonio was fun. So we get another one, and this is good stuff. This is real good stuff. But of course, in our landscape, in our world, all people want to talk about is A.J. Brown and whatever perceived issues and, drama. It's amazing how the world is falling apart. And all everybody cares about is, there's got to be some sort of hidden agenda that got between A.J. and Jalen. I sometimes I just go, what do you care about? Like, who cares about stuff like that? Worry about it on the field. Worry about the stuff. Everybody goes, and you talk to all those guys, locker room stuff is locker room stuff. There's always stuff. But that wasn't the major crux of why he wanted to leave. Now, he left yesterday. He spoke to the media yesterday in New England. AJ, gave you the whole, I was ready to, I loved the Patriots as a kid. I wanted to play with Tom Brady. it was just like, I'm actually happy and relieved that this thing is over. I loved AJ, did, right? But now it's done. And I just don't even want to hear his initials, right? I don't really want to hear his initials. It's why I don't call my Anthony, who's a junior, AJ. Really, it's because of AJ Soprano. But I didn't want AJ. I don't want him called AJ. So he's, there's some good AJs. I coach a little kid named AJ who's awesome. But I was just like, no, I'm ready to go and just turn the page and let's just see what this offense can be about. That's really all I'm worried about right now. So we're going to have some fun today. As always, EJ will join us, talk about, the latest on what's happening, and you got OTAs and everything else happening. So we're going to do it with EJ. Mike Sielski, our buddy, Mike had an interesting tweet, and I agreed with it. And it was funny. My guy, Eddie Wright, was like, dude, is he trolling or what? And I'm like, no. So here's Mike's tweet. And I think Mike's tweet was right. Sorry, I just look at his behavior differently. I see a guy who was already among the best at his position and wants to be among the greatest of all time. He was in a situation that was not allowing him to achieve that. I sympathize with his desire to be great. Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. I think you're right about that. I do. And Eddie was like, well, he went to 2 Super Bowls, 1,000 yards receiving. Yeah, he was like, that's great. And my only pushback here is it wasn't great. It was good. Very good. But like the passing game was an issue for the last 3 years. So, if the guy wants to achieve and believes he's got more inside of him, I'm not, who am I to tell him, no, you're better off here? Like, if that's what you want, then go ahead. Now, do I think Drake May's going to get him to what he wants? No. But that's on him. If he thinks he feels like he's got more left on the bone, so to speak, achieve, go for it. I'm always about achieving greatness. Like, I always want people to strive to do the best they can do. I personally, I've been doing this a long time and I love it. And it's my passion. So I come here every day and I look forward to talking to you guys, but I also have a bunch of writing projects that I love, that I do. And I want to meld the two worlds together, right? Like, I love that stuff. So I'll never stop. And I've been at it for 20 years, failed like a million times at it, right? But I'm still at it because I want to achieve the apex as much as I believe that I can achieve. And I kind of relate to AJ. I think I get it. Like, if you think like you have more to offer, go ahead. God bless. Now, when it comes to the football team, let's see, just get the run game going, and let's get Jalen and the evolution of the quarterback play to another level, and you can succeed without him, especially with this defense. Good morning, Violations Greg.
Oh, hello, Anthony. I thought our man Arthur Juan Brown was going to go Scott Rowland on us yesterday. Did you hear him? He said it isn't heaven.
Yeah,
but it's pretty close.
I know.
He's going to give us some football heaven.
I got the same. Like, all of a sudden there was this peg. He's not going to go Rowland,
right?
That freaking when Scott Rowland said St. Louis is baseball heaven, it was like, oh, you mother father! Yeah. I hope you just fall off the face of the earth. Like, it was terrible. Yeah, I got that same sense that you did. Yes.
I mean, I think I am actually on Team Sielski. I just read his article this morning. I'm on Team Sielski. And I can say this. We have Randy in the chat every couple of days being like, what more does he want? He's top 4 in yards and touchdowns over the last 5 years of all receivers. But maybe in the film room, he's like, yo, there's 300 yards left on the plate.
Well,
and there's like
four
other touchdowns I could have had and should have had that he's missing me.
Yeah.
So I'm not dealing with this anymore. I want those extra 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. I want to go somewhere else that might have a chance. So we don't know if that's not happening. Like, he's putting up good numbers, but in his mind on film review sessions, maybe he should be putting up way better numbers.
Yes. And again, this is 3 years in the making.
Yeah.
Now, they were able to win in a very unique sort of way. They were able to win with an explosive run game and a great defense.
Mhm.
That's different. Like, we never saw a year like Saquon had. I mean, in the history of the NFL, you never saw big play run game. Like, you never saw it. Like, that was something unique. So I feel the same way. I go, I don't know. Like, if the guy believes that he should be better and should be number one, what's wrong with striving to be number one?
I mean,
who are we to say, no, dude, you got to take good and not go for great?
I mean, we're talking about wide receiver. There is, I mean, they made the movie, Show Me the Money. Like, there's no more position where you want a guy who's a selfish mother father who wants the ball every play.
Right.
That's the mentality it takes to succeed at that position.
Right.
People are shocked that that's the attitude he has. I don't know.
And again, there was a stark difference between him and T.O. It just was. There, like, you know, there was not. But again, I talked to those guys down there. Those guys loved him. I don't know what else to say.
Right.
They love the guy.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm not saying this is all on Hurts, Patullo, Sirianni. I mean, well, our boy Mailata yesterday, he made a comment that I thought was one of the most like shots taken in a while, where he says Mannion's an evil genius. And if you're going to put the three smartest people in the building in a room, he's there alone. It's like, wow, just forget about Knicks in the building. And I know Vic would be in that room, but he doesn't work with the offense.
No, he's just
talking offense. And he's like, in this building, this guy's alone with the three. If he's the three smartest, it's him. That's a shot.
And that's what excites me. Now, again, he has to call play. I understand it. But
Yeah.
we're sitting here in June before he ever does. But I talk to a lot of people in that league, and they rave about the dude. I don't, I mean, I can only, I don't know him, right? I can only tell you what I've been told from people who do and who have worked with him, and they love him. And they think, and I saw that quote from Jordan, and that got me excited.
Yeah.
It got me excited. And it goes back to my theory that there's no way in the world, I don't care how well this offense does and what happens, but if someone's trying to poach him, they're not letting him walk.
I don't think so. So big farts. There's a lot of chat. The chat's not liking our position.
Really?
Farts, I think, may have summed it up.
Why farts?
You guys have lost your minds. He was treated as good as you can be, fan-wise, financially, while he blew up the locker room, going on podcasts and streams, crap talking, and how he's acting now, bleep him.
I get it from a fan perspective. I
Dollar. You guys are watching this in real time. They're trying to push Hurts out of town.
Nobody's trying to push him out of town. They would prefer him to succeed. Yeah, there's no vendetta against Jalen Hurts. But
I guess they're saying we're justifying AJ's position by saying Hurts stinks. That's what we're implying, maybe.
All right. So did he play well over the last 3 years?
Hurts?
Yeah.
Not exceptionally well, no.
No.
He's an average quarterback the last couple years.
I mean, I think why is that?
But he doesn't make the mistakes. He comes up big in the Super Bowl. He's a winner in the Super Bowl. He doesn't make the mistakes. He didn't have
I've said that a million times. But is that a $60 million quarterback?
It doesn't look that way.
Well, I mean, that's just looking at it through the prism of reality. I mean, he needs to be better. I don't think, and again,
I think he would tell you he needs to be better.
I don't think that's pushing Hurts out of town. That's being unfair. I like the kid. I want the kid to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I want him to. That's why I'm excited about this Mannion offense, and I want to see him get it. It's best for everybody, fans, NovaCare, or whatever it is, Jefferson Health. it's best that he gets it. Because nobody wants to go into the wilderness of no starting quarterback. I don't want to go. Do I want to go and look at the draft
I'm trying to find a Kevin Cobb
for a cost-controlled quarterback? No, not especially. Because, the chances are 90% I'm not going to get as good a quarterback as what Jalen is, and even what he's been, right?
Right.
Now, there's a 10% chance I roll a 7 and I got a stud, but I don't really want to take that risk. I'm not looking to take that risk. I'm rooting for him to get it and to be able to play this position the way it now needs to be while he's not a runner and teams adjusted to the read option offense.
Right. We just need him to adjust his game a little bit.
I don't see. That's why, Jack. And listen. I welcome it. In fact, what I would love to do, and Fartsy and all the guys, please, we'll give you Jules will give you a link, and come on. I want you guys to espouse your opinion. I do. I want to hear it. I want to talk through it. It helps me talk through it. There's so much to discuss with this subject that it's just not black and white, right? It's not because Jalen was good, and at times he was great, and he is a big-time player.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I need to see more of it. He wasn't a big-time player in last year and in the playoffs. Now, was that Pachulo? I think that had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Nick,
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that they couldn't run the ball. Yes. That's all real. So that's why if this guy, and again, I'd be lying to you if I said, I'm going to be I can't do a hot take where I'm just going to be, Mannion's a genius. I don't know. I need to see it. I believe the guy knows what he's doing. And from everybody I talk to, everyone is impressed. But you got to call plays. You haven't done anything. Right? Let's see it.
See when it matters.
But my only point with this whole situation is, let's give it a shot. Let's go. I'm behind it. But let's not also look in the past and go, everything was great. They won a Super Bowl despite a passing game that you couldn't count on.
Yeah.
Had lots of 3-and-outs.
Yeah. It was a pick 6 in that one. The defense had Kansas City jammed up. But if you want to get in, email Julia at allphy.com. She'll send you a link. You hop on with us. Hang out for a couple minutes.
I would love it. I miss, you know what I miss, guys? I miss the discourse. I love this medium because it's so creative and allows us to do so many different things. We haven't even touched the surface of some of the stuff that I want to do, bringing the show outside and the whole thing. But what I miss, the only thing I miss about radio is the discourse. Because I loved the callers. I always loved the callers. I loved talking to people, getting to know them. I feel like I know the chat, right? I know you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I enjoy it. I want to have chat day live here at the studio.
Mm-hmm.
We had our buddy Little Dave Jarman here yesterday. You guys want to come in? Please come on in, man. Let's have fun with it. I love that aspect. I'm a people. I love people.
Yeah.
So I love the conversation, and I never get tired of talking about it. I was at the Fields last night. The guy comes up, and he was asking about AJ. We were talking about AJ Brown, and he was hitting ground balls to his kids and all. Right. We're afterwards he's, yo man, what do you think? Blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, well, how about the Sixers? What about Gansey? Right. So we're talking. And he goes, I'm sorry. I'm sure you're tired of talking about this. You talk about it all day long. And I go, no, I love it. I'll talk about it. I love it.
Yeah, you don't understand. I talk to VG all day. I'm dying to talk to other people about sports.
Really?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I got to hear about the drag show that you watched. How great!
Don't even get me started about what I watched last night. I was in my bliss last night.
What did you watch?
Well, I went and did some work at the pub.
Because I asked you, did you watch that hockey game?
No.
I realize how narrow.
I don't know who I can. I think EJ might be with me on this.
Okay.
So I did some writing at the pub, watched the Phillies game, came home. I saw some of the hockey game at the bar.
You didn't watch the, but you know, stop.
But then it's
Love
June
Island?
2nd. Love Island premiered yesterday, and we got a horse in the race. We got Melanie from North Philly, so we got someone to root for. It's like, let's go. So I'm in. Great first episode. Everything you want. Local person.
It's so funny how our taste could not be more different.
I can't watch Tour de France. At this point, I can't deal with Tour de
It
France.
was awesome. It
Can't
was a
deal with
great
it.
hockey game. I love when sports is at this level, when it's played at this level. That's why I can't wait for the World Cup. Because the World Cup, you're going to see when a sport is played at its apex,
Yeah.
it's great viewing. Like that was two great teams going toe to toe last night.
You know what?
Like, and honestly, like I just put all that stuff aside. I love watching it.
Yeah, I know. It looked good.
It was
The highlights.
It was a great.
You know what I
game.
saw last night? I think it's the first game, the first 2 minutes in Indianapolis. I don't know why only in Indianapolis. They had no audio, no commentator feed. So they watched the first goal was in the first 2 minutes with just the sounds of the arena and the ice.
Oh, I don't like that.
It was pretty good. And there's people clamoring for an alternate broadcast with no announcers that you just get.
Yeah, I can't do
It
that.
was pretty good. The crowd was crazy. You could hear the puck hitting sticks.
Yeah.
You heard the post.
I hear you. I like the post sounds, but I'm a big announcer guy. And I love, what's his name? Oh, God, the play-by-play guy. From Boston, Sean McDonough. I love Sean McDonough. I think Sean McDonough is a great, he does baseball.
Yeah.
He does college football. He's a great college basketball.
Yeah.
He's a great play-by-play guy.
What was Torch doing? Someone in the chat said Torch is calling out Hurdle after the game?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah. Well, he's pretty, could be at a couple plays like, yo, dude.
Hurdle?
Yeah. He's nuts. But it was great. It was just such a great, that's Shea Fedor, man. Like, that's the difference. Flyers need that defenseman, man.
Oh, my God. Do they need a defenseman?
Shea was up. I mean, he sets up the game-winning goal.
Peter Tom Willis give us Ghost with 5 exclamation
Go.
points.
Well, Ghost scored, right? Ghost had another chance.
Yeah.
And Carter Hart stoned him. He almost had another game tie.
X-Flyer versus X-Fly?
Yeah, actually it was 4-4 at that point, and Carter Hart stoned him. But Ghost gave up the game-winning goal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
It's why Ghost, it's funny. I'll never forget our buddy Jason Martinez, when they got rid of Ghost, he's like, he's just a bad defenseman. He's a bad defensive. He's offense.
Yeah.
But he's a bad defense, and he gave up the goal.
The offense flashes, though.
Oh,
It makes you forget about the. It's like with Mitkov. Give
I
me the
know,
offense.
but like it cost you.
Yeah.
The game winner, and there was another goal that he messed up. Like, but that's Shea Fedor, man. Like when you need it, when you watch him play, he's just such a great player. Great player. Great defenseman, block shots, does everything.
Yeah, man.
It was great, but
I saw behind the door. Do you like dogs? Do you like cats? Line up on the side of the door you like. See who's on the other side. Yeah.
Jules, what? Like
I know it sounds ridiculous when I say it,
watches,
but it actually works. It's really well.
I think
weeks.
Eddie likes
It's
it.
like every day now for the next 5 days, 6 days a week for the next 6 weeks.
My wife likes, here's Eddie. My wife likes when I watch Love Island with her. And every time I watch, I reach for a bottle of hydrogen peroxide to douse my eyeballs with.
Well, here's what the pagan was like, this sounds so annoying. She was trying to sleep. She's like, this sounds so annoying. She's like, but I know by the 5th episode, I'll be sucked into it. Like, it's just, you can't.
Yeah, so after the game last night,
Yeah.
I was clicking around because I was like, I don't know, I was like looking for something to take my mind away. And I come across like an older movie, The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Okay.
So I got sucked into that.
Yeah.
Because it's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Damon is awesome in that movie. Like, he's such a creeper. Like, it was such a great, like, that movie was incredible. Plus, it was all in Italy, so
Of course. There's always the tie-in.
I love.
But it's with the French Open today. Don't we have some paisans playing today? Let's go.
Yeah, no. Anyway, lots to get to. We got EJ coming up. We sometimes you should hear our conversations before the show. Jules just laughs. How would you describe them, Jules?
Oh, it's just like a very natural, like, comedy routine almost. It's just like the flow is like you can't make up some of the things that
Or yin and yang.
Yeah.
And we're not trying.
No.
As I was
No,
saying,
we're
it's
not
just, like,
trying.
it's effortlessly, like, just fluid.
The Odd Couple.
He's there's something. He comes in and invariably he'll say something that gets on my nerves.
Yep.
We got 3 paisans in the French Open today.
Shut up.
Flavio Caboli,
Shut up.
Matteo Berrettini.
All right. Let's take quick TO. Already. Lots to get to. EJ coming up, but first let's talk about the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Yes, you want to bet the French Open?
Yeah.
You can bet the French Open on the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app and baseball and hoops tonight. Brain will be with us in a little bit. We got Knicks and Spurs. Wow.
4.5.
Let's go Wemby. There's something about now this game's San Antonio, but Wemby and the Garden, like, it's going to be. It's Wemby versus the Knicks. It's great theater, man. It's so good. So check it all out on the app, all the favorite casino games and all the hottest slots. All right? All that stuff. New customers get up to $500 casino bonus back in the first 24 hours, plus 250 spins on the new soccer-themed slot game, Gold Trio Soccer. BetParks.com has all the details. You got to be 21 in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now let's talk about Xfinity and your Wi-Fi. What if you can have reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi? What if you can keep it the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense, and let you stream the game even when the whole family's online playing video games. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. Best part, no annual contracts, no hidden fees. Xfinity's best equipment included. You take it from me, a lot changes in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi should stay reliable and the price should stay put. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more. Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. All right. Now, joining us on the Xfinity mobile call-in line, E.J. Smith.
Give me that E, give me a J, give me an E.J. Give me that E.J. Smith.
Good morning, E.J.
What's going on, guys? How are we doing today?
How's my man?
I'm doing great. Practice was fun yesterday. Weather was great. I'm kind of excited that the AJ thing is coming to a natural end. I'm sure we're going to talk about it, but it feels like it's cresting downward where, we're going to be talking about the Eagles post AJ Brown, which feels good. So yeah, it's a good time of year. I'm enjoying it. You know me, I love being out of football practice. Whenever I'm out of practice, I'm like the next morning, I'm waking up just like glowing.
That's why I love you, man. It's why I sit next to the vampire. Like, practice. We'll practice. Like, when I hear you talk like that, I love it. I just go, yeah, dude. I wish I was next to you. I wish I was next to you, just taking it all in, man.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite privileges of this job. It's the one thing that gets me a little bit like, I can't believe I get to do this. So, yeah, it was a good practice too. We got some good notes for you, but we could talk AJ if you want.
We got. Inverted pyramid, right? So let's start with the news of the day and the fallout from AJ. AJ spoke yesterday in New England, and of course, all the guys spoke yesterday at practice. What's your 50,000-foot view?
Yeah, so really quick, I was watching the show before I came on, and I was like listening to the sentiment from the chat about how AJ tore the locker room apart and all these things. I just want to push back on that specific point that AJ tore the locker room apart because I heard the same thing you've been hearing, like about most of these guys have almost nothing but positive things to say about AJ.
You
You know,
know.
these guys liked AJ, and my like hearing from Eagles players yesterday, that was a sentiment. Quinyon Mitchell said, AJ was like a big brother for him. He's disappointed he's disappointed to see him go. Cooper DeJean, same thing. Obviously AJ and Cooper DeJean had a really strong relationship. AJ was the first one to say all pro Coop last spring, and I think that Cooper DeJean still views AJ Brown as a mentor in his early career and appreciates that impact that he had. And I think, from a fan perspective, I totally get why you're frustrated with AJ, but and I think Jordan Mailata put it well, where it's like they're glad that this saga is over. They're glad that this is behind them in the same way that fans are, but there's not bad blood between at least the vast majority of the Eagles locker room and really the Eagles building in general when they discuss AJ Brown. I think they're thankful for the time that they had, with the achievements that they were able to have together, and AJ's role in that. So it's not necessarily as as malicious or as negative as the fan reaction has been. And again, I understand that perception really is a big part of that. I think the Eagles players, like, they understand AJ. They understand what drives AJ. They understand why AJ made the decision that he made. They might not agree with it. I might not agree with it, but yeah, I think that different perceptions you can figure out how we got here, without hard feelings.
Yeah, and I think, the fan is in a, and this is in defense of the chat, the fan is in a horrible situation, right? Because, you're losing a player who is a great player. And one of the reasons why you're losing the player is because he doesn't necessarily jive with the quarterback, right? So that, as a fan, of course, you want to go rush to the quarterback side. The quarterback's the one who's got a ring and been to 2 Super Bowls and who's come up in big games, who's played well, and who's here, right? Like, he's the guy that's here. So you're going, wait a second, So I get it from the fan perspective. It's just one of those weird things in sports, and that it's just, there's a lot of nuance to it.
Yeah, and one of those things in life, like we've all had situations in our life where, like, maybe it's like your friend is dating someone that you think they're great together and they break up and you're disappointed. But, I think that there's an element to it where, I get from a fan perspective, you wish that they could have avoided this situation. You wish that there was some point over the last 2 or 3 seasons where, Howie Roseman, Jalen Hurts, like, remember the meeting with Jalen Hurts, Saquon, and AJ? You wish that meeting ended and everybody was good and they could walk forward together in all alignment. But, that's life. That these things don't always happen.
Man, I forgot about that, dude. I
Meeting
forgot about that meeting, man. Oh, God.
happened last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I
let me
mean,
just say though, I don't.
doesn't that illustrate, like, the issues? The fact that that Saquon had to broker a sit down, like it was the Colombo family and the Genovese family. Like,
Yeah. I mean, like I said, a lot happened last year. I just want to make it clear though, I'm not telling fans how to feel. If you feel frustrated about AJ,
yeah,
totally understand that.
yeah.
I just want to back. I don't think AJ tore the locker room apart. I don't think that was that. I mean, I was there every day. That's not to say there weren't people who aligned with AJ or aligned with Jalen, but I don't think it was the thing that spiraled the season. You could talk about his play. I think that that's a fair criticism, but in terms of like the locker room dynamics, I don't think AJ was ripping things apart last year.
So was there it felt like, from listening to Mailata, it felt like there was a little bit of a pall that was lifted, right? Would that be
Sure.
fair to say?
Yeah, he said like, I don't mean it like this, but I think he kind of did. Like, thank God it's over.
Yeah.
Is he in or is he out? That kind of The uncertainty that kind of loomed over the offseason program. Obviously, AJ hasn't been there, so they kind of knew where things stood. But I think that the same way that all of us were tired of talking about it and tired of hearing about it and like kind of the waiting game that we were in for months, I think there was a relief from the team to kind of have some finality and some closure. Again, there's disappointment there. It's not like they're happy he's gone. I think part of the reason that they're glad it's over is because of like, the fact that they were wondering if such a great player was in or out. So yeah, definitely a sense of relief that you got, but again, a sense of disappointment from the younger guys who, I mean, again, the captain the last few years. I think a lot of these guys viewed him as a key leader in that group, as hard as that might be to believe from an outside perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you. All right. Let's put it to bed. You have anything else to say?
No, I'm ready to move on.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Mannion.
Well, I wanted to bring this up. So since we're talking about Jordan Mailata and what he had to say, he said that that Mannion, if there's a genius in the room, 3 geniuses, he would be alone in the room. I use that line too, except I go, if there were 3 jerk-offs in the room, that guy would be all 3 of them.
I like that. I don't know if I've ever heard that expression, but I might have to borrow
an
that one.
aceism.
Yeah, I believe that.
So, but he said if there were the geniuses in the room, that Mannion would be alone. Well, that's high praise from Jordan.
Yeah, especially you got to keep in mind, like Jordan Mailata's perspective on this is like, this is an offense that's going to ask him to change a lot. This is an offense that's going to have the offensive line operating significantly differently. And those guys have only known, they'll use the dad analogy from Jalen Hurts, right? They've only known one dad their whole life. And now they've got a new dad in that room that's asking them to do things completely differently. So I thought the fact that Jordan Mailata was so effusive about Sean Mannion and the vision that he has for this offense was really encouraging, because I think if you were Jordan Mailata, you could have come out and been like, this is a really big change from what we've done before. And like, we'll see how it operates. But no, he seems bought in, seems excited. And I think, we talk a lot about from Jalen's side of things, where it's like, can Sean Mannion spell out the why strongly enough that Jalen can buy in? And I think the more that we've talked to these guys, the more it's very clear that Sean Mannion running a meeting room for the first time, that's a big question with these new OCs. Like he has clearly sold his vision to these players in a way where they are all in alignment and they believe that, they're moving in the right direction. So yeah,
let's go.
EJ, when Sirianni sees that coming, how's he feel that he's locked out of the smartest guys in the building? He's not one of the 3 smartest.
Yeah, that is a fair reading of that quote, is like, who else could you fit in that room if you're really getting 3 people?
He's not. I mean, everybody knows. Come on, man. He knows. He gave up play call 5 minutes into his tenure here. You think he thinks he's a genius? I think he
didn't
thinks
even say genius, but the 3 smartest. So there's all right.
You think
he's not even one of the
smart.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Listen, what he has is
Jordan. I'm smart.
He's got EQ. He's the CEO. Oftentimes,
that's a smartness.
Oftentimes, the CEO is not the smartest guy in the company. No, it's true. Like
but they have some smartness. Not even top 3.
Come on.
I'm sure Jordan has nothing but nice things to say about Nick. But yeah, I mean, that was where my mind went when I heard the quote too. Is like, who else would be in there?
You see little Nicky pounding on the door. Let me in.
Yeah. He ain't Walsh. All right. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. So the fact that they're bought in to and like I know we talk a lot when it comes to Hurts. I don't question a little bit of the buy-in. Like he's already bought in. I hear he's all in. Now it's just a matter of if he can do it, right? Like if he can execute it. I think he believes in it, and now it's on him to execute it, right? Like I love what I heard about. In fact, somebody told me that Parks, Frazier, and Jalen have just been going over not a single play, just been going over mechanics. This is exactly what I wanted. It's all right. 3-step drop is 3-step drop. It's not 2.5, right? 5-step drop is not 4.25, right? Like
Yeah.
movement, understanding what you're doing, like all going back to basics. I heard that he's been working with Parks Frazier, and it's just been like, let's just go and get these mechanics right. I love that. That's a recipe for him to succeed.
Absolutely. I mean, you zoom out and you think about who Jalen Hurts is and what we know about him. These are things that you would expect him to be able to, maybe not master, but improve significantly on if it is the focus. And it is the focus for Sean Mannion. I mean, in this system, it's going to be imperative that he has those things down pat, that the timing is correct. And I think, again, you sell the vision to him. You explain to him like why this is necessary, why this is a needed thing in this system. I think he will. I think he is bought into it, and I think there's reason to believe he will be able to improve significantly. So yeah, I think the questions that remain, obviously, like you keep mentioning, like he's got to call plays. We need to see like does he know how to sequence play calling, put together a game plan, and what does the offensive line look like? Because that was the other side of what Mailata said yesterday, was that this is a significant departure from what they've done in the past, just technically, the steps, the blocking, the way that you surface blocks, the way that the way you're moving, and even in pass pro, there's a lot of differences from an offensive line standpoint. The group is so talented, you'd expect that they should be able to figure it out, health notwithstanding. But again, it's a big adjustment. And Jordan didn't, he didn't sugarcoat that. He said it kind of feels like he's a rookie again in like how he's learning how to operate on the offensive line. So, if you tell me that they figure that out and the run game is solid, you should feel really good about this Eagles offense, because I think,
I know we talk a lot about about Jalen and mastering the out, but it's only going to work if they can run the ball.
Yeah, because even when we're out there right now, you can see the vision for like tying the run and the pass game together. You can see like, a run fake to the, a fake toss to the running back that gets the linebackers to shift over, and then you have a crossing route developing behind it. Like that is, the Sean Mannion, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. That's that offense is trying to get movement with the run game and then take advantage of the space that it opens up. It's like, even the very the basics, the very like bare bones of that offense that we're seeing now, you can see that is the goal. So yeah, the run game being effective is going to be a big part in that, being able, to be aggressive in those situations with the play action game.
So when we look at the run game, and you're talking about the O-line and kind of getting it fixed, again, we had Jeff Stoutland here, right? Like, so we had a great mind who was an offensive line coach. Now, those guys didn't listen to him, right? Like, there was a point where they kind of ignored what he had to say. Where does that come in? And now where does, in relationship to what we're seeing, to like what you just brought up?
Yeah, I mean, the onus is on Chris Cooper, to kind of manage and navigate what is a difficult situation, like stepping in for, one of the most impactful assistant coaches in the NFL, not just with the Eagles. So yeah, it's a difficult thing, and we talked about it on the show yesterday. It's even weird for us to like watch the offensive line operate with Chris Cooper, during practice, just because it's so different, and we've really only seen one way of doing it. And a lot of these guys are the same, so when you come out for your first practice, in the post Jeff Stoutland world, you're, using like these like 6-foot sticks and yoga balls and, all these different props. It's a big adjustment, hula hoops out there, everything like, and I'm sure that this is stuff that if you go across the NFL, you see plenty of, but from an Eagles standpoint, we haven't seen much of it. So yeah, it's a big adjustment. Jordan Mailata even said yesterday, like he just got dinner with, Jeff Stoutland, his wife, and Jeff Stoutland's daughter. Like, they're going to be close with him for their lives. But, from a work perspective, it does seem like it's been a big adjustment. I don't think that there's a reason to be overly concerned right now, but I do think, it is. It's going to look a lot different come training camp for these guys.
Speaking of concerns, Levin's got a hamstring issue going on. How much of a concern is that?
It's obviously it's June, so he's got time. But yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, especially like post AJ Brown first practice. We're out there, and Mekhi Lemon's also out with a hamstring injury. He had a sleeve on his right leg. It just is like it's always a good reminder. I mean, I remember like the days where AJ or Devontae were out in training camp. It's always a good reminder of like how important those two were, like because of the lack of depth behind them. We saw a lot of Dontavian Wicks. We saw a lot of Hollywood Brown out there because of the fact that Mekhi Lemon wasn't out there. We didn't see as much of Devontae as you probably would have expected in team. Just wasn't featured as much. It was a really big Dallas Goedert day yesterday with Lemon. He had a lot of targets. He had a drop early in practice, but had a few nice moments over the middle of the field. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I wouldn't expect Mekhi Lemon to miss significant time. I'm sure he'll be fine by camp, but yeah, again, it was a little anticlimactic from a receiver standpoint yesterday.
All right. I want to get back to the O-line for one thing because it's so
Yeah.
important. Yesterday, VG and I were talking about it, and he was like, wow, the O-line was terrible last year. And I pushed back because it wasn't terrible. Now, it wasn't extraordinary the way it was 2 years prior. Clearly, guys were dinged up. Clearly, had guys, that weren't the same level. And in the run game, Steen was not Becton in the run game.
Yeah.
All that said, I thought it was more a product of, and again, it was banged up, so it wasn't at its best. So I could see that. But I thought it was more of a product of the offense and more of a Pachulo, how this offense was run. Like, how am I supposed, like, I know you're going to try to run the ball. So, and 2 years ago, they knew they were going to try to run the ball and they just ran it. Last year, they couldn't do it like that. There was no superpower like that. But if your offense can't make you pay, then I didn't fear it. So I thought it was more a product of that.
Yeah, I think the thing that stands out as I'm thinking about the Eagles' run game last year, and how the play calling impacted it, they couldn't get teams out of those looks where they're stacking the box and being really creative. I mean, teams did. We heard all about it. Like they sold out to stop the Eagles' run game, and Eagles weren't able to make the teams pay for that. And I think that is where you really can point the finger at the play calling and the schematics. Now, listen, yeah, I agree. Like the O line really struggled last year, especially in turn like on the interior. Cam Jurgens just couldn't move, and if you
Yeah.
can't move at his size, you're not going to win a lot of matchups. And then I thought Landon that is fine for most weeks, and then like to your point, Steen. I think it's funny. Like Steen is a league average starting offensive
Yeah.
lineman. You just don't see that very often in Philadelphia. Like, we're used to seeing, Pro Bowl, all pro level players. So I think the personnel was a big part of it. But yeah, you're right. In 2024, you could run against a stacked box and they'd figure out. And that's unprecedented. That is like, you know, running against 8+ in the box, selling out to stop the run. Like that shows you how ridiculous that 2024
Right.
offense was.
Like when you're holding up to that standard, yeah, like they were not good. But against normal O-line standard, what happens with normal O-lines, when teams sell out to stop the run, you're able to throw the ball. And they were
Yeah.
never able to throw the ball.
Exactly. I think it showed how broken the pass game was, and how that did affect the run game. And that's one of the things with Mannion is that you want those two things to be tied together more, so that you can kind of function on offense even if you're struggling on one side or the other.
So I was curious about Wicks because we got in the conversation about Wicks. Now that AJ's gone and it's this cumulative room led by Devontae, Wicks, Lemon. I mean, you're talking about this, Lemon out of the slot primarily. Wicks is your outside guy, like he's going to be your X.
Yeah. So I have a couple good Wicks notes for you. So he had like an up and down day yesterday. He had a drop early in practice on a slant route, but he caught a touchdown pass in the back of the end zone. And your boy Big Dom was the back judge in the end zone for that, which was funny. Like, they only had one ref out there. So Dom is in the back of the end zone, just officiating basically. And him and the official ref, the actual ref, had some disagreements about Wicks's touchdown catch.
Oh, really?
Push off. And the official said, "Yeah, you can't make that call in the league. You better be absolutely certain about that one if you're going to call offensive pass interference."
So Dom called it OPI?
He called it OPI. Now the ref didn't throw the flag, so there was some disagreement on that one. But yeah, I thought Wicks had it was a nice catch in the back of the end zone. It was a good ball from Hurts. Like, he really fired it in there. So yeah, I want to see more from Wicks. He hasn't like popped out yet from me, but I did think the other note I had for you on Wicks is that Quinyon Mitchell after practice said that he always felt like Dontavion Wicks was an underrated receiver in the NFL. That he gave Quinyon more trouble than most guys. Now, that's like a relative thing. Like, I'm sure Dontavion Wicks probably caught like one pass on Quinyon Mitchell, and therefore Quinyon's probably like, oh man, that guy's pretty good, because most guys don't even get the ball when Quinyon's covering him. But I did find that noteworthy that Quinyon mentioned that Dontavion Wicks had given him some trouble.
Hey, while we're on the basket game, are you surprised Andy Dalton's getting like second team reps?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I think it's a little bit coincidental that it's been the 2 days we're there, because we're usually there for the second day. So my understanding is that they're rotating those guys. And I think Tanner McKee probably was with the twos yesterday. And he'll be with the twos again the next time that they're on the field. I think it's on Thursday. So for that reason, like, I think it's a little bit coincidental, but still, the fact that they have Tanner McKee in a competition with Andy Dalton in the first place does surprise me. I think it's probably just a matter of showing respect to Andy Dalton and like his tenure in the NFL. It's still just,
I mean,
Get out of here, respect Dalton. Get out of here.
that's all that is. He's in here just to be in the room. He's Mannion just goes, I got the red rifle in here to just help. There's no way he's the number two.
yeah, I'd be stunned.
Are you trying to convince yourself of this?
No, it's
Sounds
there's no way. There's no way. He can't play anymore.
I mean, unless they trade McKee, that's the only thing. But if they don't trade McKee, like, if McKee's here, he's the second quarterback. Yeah, I'd be shocked if.
If they think Andy Dalton is a better backup, then they should have traded McKee a while back for whatever you can get.
Yes, I would agree with that.
My God, have you seen him play? I watched him play. I don't know. He came in to start. Oh, I forget. I don't even know if it was last year or the year before. And he's just
could have been
awful.
any game in the last 4 years.
Like, he's just awful. Like, got no chance.
The second they traded for him, I got a text from someone like, that like the wheels came off for him a while ago, right?
Yeah.
They want him on the field.
I'd rather have Mannion behind center. Let him call his own plays.
Handle on what's going on, right? Mannion under center, Nick at receiver.
By the way, Dom says he pushed off Q.
I told you he called the push off. Now listen, I mean, who you gonna trust here, Dom or the ref? Now Dom has the better. Yeah.
Wait, what is Dom wearing, like black and white sweatsuit back there?
No, he doesn't have the Z. He doesn't have the uniform. He's wearing his normal black sweat.
Yeah.
Trying to look referee-ish.
No. He's standing out there.
Black tracksuit with the white stripe down the sleeves, like you got.
Tuxedo, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, he had a couple of good calls. Hollywood Brown had a catch in the back of the end zone, and Dom confirmed he got both feet in. So he called it both ways. He wasn't just in favor of the defense.
Wait, who scored the touchdown?
Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood Brown?
Yeah, he got both feet in, and Dom was all over it.
Did he do the catch?
Nah, I think he just yelled. He got him in. He got him in.
I would have been like it.
Hey, I read some notes about Riq Woolen standing out, going step for step with Hollywood Brown, and then Blanket and Devontae one time maybe in the red zone.
Yeah, it's really funny to see Hollywood Brown and Riq lined up across from one another. I mean, it is because they're very similar, like speed profile wise. They ran step for step, but it's just crazy to see like the 5'8" versus 6'4" running that at that speed. It just looks so different. Yeah, Riq has looked awesome. And everything I've heard about him, from people in the building is that they have just been really bullish on what he's going to look like in this defense. It's funny, like Vic said it when he was at the podium, like he was surprised that, Riq didn't command more of a market, as a free agent. And, obviously you're going to say that about any free agent you sign, but I trust Vic's evaluation of this guy more than most GMs in the NFL. So yeah, the fact that they've been so bullish on him, every player who's talked about him talks about how rare it is to find someone that tall with that movement ability, which is another thing Vic mentioned. He's looked great out there. I
Reach.
mean, jumps out when you walk onto the field just because of his height. He's a very uniquely built player, but he moves incredibly well at that size.
Reach. The giant swarm. I love it, man. I can't wait for this defense. Coop.
Yeah,
Coop
that's
and
the thing you gotta
Quinyon,
remember.
they're my favorite. You know what's funny? We did that exercise in the 26
Yeah,
best Eagles of this century. I got Coop and Q on it, right? Like, I
really.
believe in those two more than, I'm sorry, they don't win a Super Bowl without those two. We always talk about, the AJ, Saquon was ridiculous, Jalen, this, that, O-line. Yes, yes, yes. They don't win without those two kids. They don't win. And throw in Carter.
Yeah, I mean they're on their way, right? And especially like Coop, he's got a signature moment now. Pick six in the Super Bowl, like that is the type of thing that gets you on that type of list. So I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I love those kids, man. I just think, I know that, Bo's right. Like, intellectually, I agree, Bo, because Bo pushed back and said, listen, next year we can have that conversation after. And I think that's fair. But I'm so bullish on those kids. I love this defense. Like, I
Yeah,
can't, like, to me, just get the offense. I think, VG, you said it. If they're low, if they're 15, great. Like, if they're middle of the road offense, that's good enough because this defense is going to be great. How is my boy Grenard?
yeah, it's tough. Edge rushers are the position that's hardest to probably evaluate in OTAs. Like I was actually laughing because the pass rush is non-existent. They literally get off the ball and then they just stand there and they make noises at the quarterback, right? And like so it's hard to evaluate the edge rushers for that reason. But Grenard looks the part. And then the funny thing about the lack of rush is Tanner McKee threw a touchdown in the corner of the end zone. He runs up and he's like right in front of the media so he can all hear what he's saying. The first thing he says is like, "Great job, O-line. Great way to protect." And it's like they didn't do anything. you're the O-line. Great job, literally like just standing there. So at that point, I'm like, if I'm one of his
Great
O-linemen,
job, O-line.
I'm
All
like, if
right.
I'm one of the linemen, I'm saying like, this guy didn't mean that. Like now,
Yeah.
next time, he does a great job. I know he's
Yeah.
not, he's not being real about it. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. But yeah, I'm excited. Camp. Once you get to camp, we'll see these edge rushers. We'll see
Yeah.
the pass rush going up against these guys. That'll
Yeah,
be.
dude.
That's always one of my
Grenard,
favorite things.
dude. Grenard. Can't wait. Here you go. One more big Domism. I tell these kids, if you do that in practice, you're going to get called in the game. That's
Good
right,
wisdom.
buddy.
Yeah.
I freaking love it. What's the schedule, buddy?
So yeah, they got mandatory mini camp next week. I don't think we got practice availability the rest of the week, but we'll have some more stuff for you. We got some stuff for today's show. Hopefully that we'll get some interviews down there. So yeah, gotta tune in. We'll be live at 2 o'clock today.
2 o'clock.
Yeah, I got
Let's
Big
go.
Dom. I got a photo of Big Dom down there.
You just
That's
did
great.
that?
Yeah.
Text me that. I'm gonna text me that. Send me that. That's classic. I love it. I love it. That's great. EJ, you're the greatest, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. Let's talk soon.
You're the best. There he is. EJ Smith on the Xfinity mobile call-in line. All right, coming up, Sielski. Here comes Mike.
Oh,
Sielski.
buckle up, chat. Buckle up.
I'm on Team Sielski. Let's take a quick TO, talk about our friends.
Hey, summer's coming. Heat, humidity, sneaking in. Getting warmer. AC not cranking like it should. Don't worry. Ace Hardware Home Services, they've got you covered. From AC repairs to water heaters, plumbing, electrical. They got trusted pros to bring the same helpful and service you know from the stores. Well, they bring it right to your front door, right to your home, from Philly all the way down to the Jersey Shore. And whether it's a quick fix or a bigger summer project, they've got the tools, they got the know-how, and they got the people to get it done right. It's so important. Everyone's got a guy. They've got the people. Ace Hardware Home Services, they're bringing helpful home, the helpful to your house. So visit acehardwarehomeservices.com and get started on your next home repair project. And you know what's funny? These days, it feels like we can stream anything instantly. Order food, 15 minutes, but somehow getting tickets to a game or a concert still feels like a full-time job. You're dealing with waiting room, prices jumping around, hidden fees. It's just brutal. So that's why we've all been using the Game Time app, and it just makes everything a whole lot easier. Looking for tickets the other day, just messing around, seeing what's coming up, and within literally a couple taps, I'm seeing great seats, great prices, no nonsense. What you see is what you pay, and they got no surprise fees popping up, and I love it. Before you buy, you can actually see the view from your seat, so you're not guessing if you're stuck behind a pole or some other obstruction. They got zone deals where you pick the section, and they pick the exact seat, and you save even more. And honestly, it just takes all the stress out of it. If you're trying to hit a game, a concert, whatever, it's the easiest way to do it. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code PHLY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, that code's PHLY for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Do it. It's simple. It's easy. Do it. Game Time.
All right. We got our boy, Jules Rules. Let's talk to one of the great columnists in the city, Mike Sielski.
Sielski, here comes Mike Sielski.
There he is. What do you say, buddy?
What's up, Ant? What's up, VG?
Sielski. How was the art museum?
Oh, it was awesome. Awesome. Really cool. It was, we found out, Robbie and I found out that we were officially the first live radio show inside the art museum in the museum's history. Really cool. The people were great. Couldn't have turned out better.
That's awesome. I love that place. I love it. It is.
Yeah,
It's such a great treasure of the city.
Beautiful building.
It is. And it was cool to like marry the two different segments of the population, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you were walking through the museum, you could hear us doing the show. And so I'm sure there were people who were like, what the hell is this? Why are they talking about the Eagles and the Phillies while I look at this section on impressionism?
Yeah, I can't concentrate on this Norman Rockwell with this Sielski
Exactly.
guy. You don't shut up.
But it was cool. It was cool. And I urge everybody, like, take a minute, go to the art museum and check out the exhibit they have on, it's called Rocky and the Making of Monuments. It's devoted entirely to the history of boxing. There's stuff from Stallone, there's stuff from Ali and Frazier and Marciano. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. So I want to get to your tweet, which I agreed with. I thought you were right in saying it. And it was funny. We were kind of debating the chat about this. You tweeted out, sorry, I just look at his behavior differently. I see a guy who is already among the best at his position and wants to be the greatest of all time. He was in a situation that was not allowing him to achieve that. I sympathize with his desire to be great. Mike Sielski on A.J. Brown. I thought you were right.
Yeah, I wrote a whole column about this yesterday, and
Yeah.
it's up on Inquirer.com now. That's exactly how I look at this. I think some of this comes down to a little bit of the way I look at this as a columnist and somebody who from time to time can kind of separate himself from just wanting the Eagles to do well. I understand that everybody who's a fan looks at this situation and says, hey, AJ, shut up, do your job, don't rock the boat, the team won the Super Bowl last year. How can you be unhappy? You know, you're taking
Yeah.
plays off last season. I get it. I get it. But AJ's looking at this, I think, as I want to be the all-time best. I want to be Ted Williams walking down the street having people say, there goes the best there ever was. And he actually has the ability to do that. And I think people in their own jobs and their own careers want all the time to be in situations that allow them to be at their best. And so I honestly do not begrudge him for wanting to leave the Eagles. And I understand why he was frustrated. Even in winning the Super Bowl, the Eagles threw the ball less than every other team in the NFL. He is looking around at these other teams and saying, I can be more. I can do more. I can be more satisfied. Does that sound selfish? In the context of pro sports, it does. In no other venue would people think that's selfish. People would just say, you know what? You got to do what you got to do. Go find a new job. Go find what you need to do to make yourself happy.
Yeah, and the innate, I think it goes deeper in that, you know, we all have this innate desire to achieve what the most of what we can do. Like most people have a concept of their strengths and weaknesses, right? Like most people understands like, all right, my gifts are this, and in a certain field professionally, I think I can accomplish that, right?
Right.
And you know, I've never been one to say I don't believe that people should say no. You be happy with this. I think it's wrong.
Yeah, I like I said, I think we're in a situation where there are so many people in the community and in the fan base who are invested in the Eagles' success.
Yes.
And not necessarily AJ Brown's success. And I understand that. But the analogy that I would draw, and I went back and forth with John Kincaid from 97.5 today about this, and John and I are friends. It's all good-natured. But he raised this issue, like, you know, hey, isn't the most important thing supposed to be winning the Super Bowl and the team's success no matter what? Go out and play. And I said to John, John, suppose that the people who run 97.5 came to you and said, listen, for the good of the station, to make us the best possible station of all time, like, and to help us win the battle with WIP
You need to go to
and
nights.
everybody else, you're going to do one show a week, and the rest of the time you're going to sweep the floor. Now, would you begrudge John Kincaid looking for another job? A,
Right.
And B, how clean do you think those floors are going to be? When you tell somebody who believes and knows in his bones that he can do more and be more, do you think he's going to be satisfied sweeping the floor? Of course not. And I see AJ in the same way.
Well, I got to push back on that a little bit. I mean, I'm on your side here, but that analogy, I mean, AJ's getting a lot of actions. He's 4th or 5th in attempts, receptions, touchdowns. And like Jake Friel, I'll give you instant feedback. Jake Friel in our chat says, despite everything going on here, AJ had the best years of his career, Mike. Mm-hmm. And I think the issue is, yes, he did have the best years of his career, but he thinks he could have had better years than those years.
That's exactly right, VG. He feels like he's leaving meat on the bone.
Right.
And I empathize with that. It's like saying, well, look, you know, we gave you a little bit of a raise. We gave you this and we let you do that. It's like, yeah, but I can do more. And I've shown that I can do more and I want to do more. And I'm not going to be happy and satisfied unless I get the chance to do more. And again, that doesn't mean that taking plays off last season is a great thing. I'm not suggesting that. What I am suggesting is that there are trade-offs. And anybody who comes to you and says that A.J. Brown was a destructive force or a detriment on the Eagles, you got to tell me what your definition of a destructive force is. Because in the 4 years he was there, he was one of the best receivers in the league, as we all know. They won a Super Bowl. They got to another. They made the playoffs 4 times. They won 73% of their games. I'll take that destructive force every time.
Well, I just know, and you're in there, and I talk to people down there every day, you know, they have nothing but glowing things to say about the guy.
They love him. They love him.
Yeah.
And let's be very frank about this. A.J. Brown is better at his job than Jalen Hurts is at his.
Yeah.
He just is.
Well, all roads
and their roles are different.
Their
roles are different too.
Yeah. It's the weirdest thing. It's so interesting. Like my buddy Tasty Cake Dom, who's a great football
Yeah, I
guy,
love Dom. Yeah,
right?
love him.
And he said, what cracks me up is we won 2 Super Bowls. They make a statue out of the part-time guy, and the franchise guy they rip every chance they get. And I don't think that's accurate. I don't. I think Jalen's become a sacred cow among the fan base, which is fine. Like when you win and you're there, that's great. But he didn't play especially well over the last couple of years. And I think that's fair to say, hey, you are the franchise quarterback. You got to be better. I mean, I don't know why it's nobody's saying to go to McKee, right? Like,
No.
if you said, hey, you got to go to Tanner McKee, then I'd say, well, that's taking a shot. That's not right.
Right.
But I don't
No,
think
you're
there's an agenda by anyone other than, hey, let's get buttoned up in the pass game, because the pass game wasn't good over the last 2 years.
I agree 100%. Look at it this way, Ant. And nobody can take away the fact that Jalen played brilliantly in the 2 Super Bowls that he's been in and in one of the 2 NFC Championship games, the one against Washington, right? Where the questions were, okay, they're going to try to take Saquon away. They're going to make Jalen. Jalen was tremendous that day. The 2 playoff games that preceded that championship game against the Packers and against the Rams, he was not good. Last year against the 49ers, he was not good. Against the Bucks, both times they played him in the playoffs, he was horrible. My point is not to say he's a bad quarterback. My point is to say that we get selective about the way we view certain players. And saying that Jalen Hurts always comes up big in big games is not true. He's had plenty of big games where he didn't play well. He didn't play well at all. They just happened to win a couple of them because their defense was so good, or Jalen Carter sacked Matthew Stafford, or Saquon Barkley ripped off a run in the snow. And I'm trying to apply the same sort of standard here to A.J. Brown. Everybody wants to turn A.J. into the villain when, in fact, like, A.J. was looking around saying, like, hey, guys, we all see that the passing game has to be better. Devontae Smith said exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing.
I know, but it's funny. Like Devontae says it, people forget about it. Like,
right?
You know,
yeah,
it's true. That's right. Like when we're looking at this whole thing, and again, listen, did Patullo and the inept offense have something to do with it? Yes, without a doubt.
Of course.
It's never just the one part thing of the equation. So it's not like everybody's blaming Hurts, right? It's like, all right, well, you know, that's why Mannion's here, to fix the offense, usher Jalen into whatever's his morphing into or his evolution of a quarterback. Like, that's why he's here.
Yeah, and I think there's another dimension to this too, at least in the reaction to AJ, which is on the list of and I think every Eagles fan and follower and media member would acknowledge this. On the list of reasons that the Eagles' season last year was disappointing, offensive line is beat up, Jalen didn't play great, Saquon, maybe wasn't quite as good, Patullo, all of it. Even if you dislike A.J. Brown or think that he shouldn't have done what he did and taken plays off, like, I think you'd have to acknowledge his performance is way down on the list of those things that caused last season to go bad. The difference is, among those things, AJ's the only one who basically is saying, like, I don't want to be in Philadelphia anymore, right? Kevin Patullo didn't say, like, get me out of Philadelphia, even though his house got egged. None of the offensive linemen were saying, you guys are being too hard on us because we're injured and we're trying to play through it. We want out of here. AJ said, I will be happier somewhere else. And people around here can't stand that. They view it as a personal attack that, oh, this guy doesn't like us anymore. It plays into the whole, like, collective insecurity that we have in this region when it comes to sports. And I think that's a big reason for the backlash.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's, listen, we've always had that chip on our shoulder. I mean, it's part of who we are and part of our makeup. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. Let me, speaking of the OCs, let's go into what Jordan Mailata said yesterday that if there were three geniuses in the building, that Sean Mannion would be all three.
Hey, I love Jordan. I still want to see it from Mannion, but that's promising. There's a difference between someone like Jordan Mailata saying that and someone like Jordan Mailata saying, it's coming along. It's a work in progress. We're coming to
Right, like
understand what
you
he
could
wants
read
from us.
through that like that. So, yep.
Right. Yeah. So if you're an Eagles fan, it has to be encouraging that Mannion seems to be impressing these guys with what he knows and what he's telling them and what he wants to implement and what he's trying to teach. That's nothing but a good thing so far. Let's see how it plays out come week 1.
When he calls him an evil genius, you're like, oh man, what's he cooking up? He called him an evil genius.
No, it's great. But also, the thing that's interesting and the other unspoken is, what about the head coach?
Here's a quote. If I locked the three smartest people in the building in a room together, Sean would be there and he'd probably be by himself.
Okay. I mean, look, the fact that the head coach isn't in there, you can look at that in one of a couple of ways, right? You can look at it the way I think Anthony is probably looking at it, which is Anthony's preference is that the head coach be the smartest person in the building when it comes to strategy and scheme. And
one
all
of the top
that.
3.
Yeah, one of the top 3. Or maybe you take it the way, another way, which is like Mannion is so much smarter than everybody else, including Vic Fangio, that he's the top 3. Is it geniuses or
No, just the
genii?
3 smartest people in the building. So it's,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
and maybe the smartest thing in that situation, maybe the smartest thing Nick will do is just get out of Mannion's way and let him run the offense.
Until the inevitable comes and someone offers Mannion a job.
And then we go through this again. Yeah, then we go through
here's
this
what
again.
we've heard so far. We've heard Nick say that Mannion's outworking him. He gets there earlier than him and stays later than him. And now we have Mailata saying Mannion's a genius and he is the 3 smartest people in the building. If I'm Nick right now.
Hey, I will say this. One of the things I'm curious to see about is if early on in the season, Jalen turns the ball over a few times early on, because I want to see if Nick sticks with whatever Mannion is doing or whether he insists that Mannion fall back into something more conservative.
You can't.
I know you can't.
You have to stay with this. Like, turnovers are going to happen. They're inevitable.
Yeah.
As you open up this offense, they're inevitable. And in some ways, they're the cost of doing business. You got to get through it and not be, not turtle up, because turtle up is not beating the Rams.
You know that, and I know that. But the most daring passing game they had all of last season was that game in LA against the Chargers.
Yep.
And Jalen threw 4 picks, and he made some great throws in that game.
Yep.
We all talk about the anticipatory 20-yard dart to Devontae in that game that everybody points to and says, see, he can do it. But he also threw 4 picks. And after that game, they went back into the shell that you're talking about. And so, there's a lot of let's see here.
Yeah, it's setting up to be a fascinating season. It's going to be awesome.
I love a good evil genius. Bring it on.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right, let's move on because we always go our 4 for 4 around the horn. What have you learned about because I don't know did you watch game 1 last night?
I watched a little bit of it, yeah.
It was great hockey, man.
It was awesome.
All I kept thinking about is, man, I can't wait. I hope they can get there. I hope to God they can get there because, man, there's when you get to that final.
So the reason I missed most of the game but caught up with it was that I was in Newtown at the Newtown Theater for a showing of a new documentary called Cold War in Philly about the Flyers game against the Russians in January of '76. And I'm there in this little theater in Bucks County, and it's packed with people in orange and black. And during the documentary, they show each of the 4 goals that the Flyers scored in that game against the Soviet Red Army team. You know, Reggie Leach and McLeish and Joe Watson and Larry Goodenough. And every time the Flyers scored in the documentary, the crowd erupted like it was an actual game. And you watch that game 1 last night, and you see what happens 30 seconds in when Carolina scores and the roof blows off the place, and then these two teams go back and forth and back and forth. I think to answer your question, Ant, I think it shows what a team can do with stability and goal. That was the big thing holding Vegas back all season, was their unsettledness in goal. And I mean, you know, we don't have to get into all the baggage and all the stuff.
But you know,
but the fact that Carter Hart is playing,
Ghost,
yeah,
point blank had a chance. It's 4-4, and Ghost had a chance to put Carolina in front, and Carter Hart stoned him.
Yeah, you don't need Bernie Parent or Martin Brodeur or Dominic Hasek. You just need a guy who people are confident playing in front of, and that's what Vegas has now in Hart. They were always a deep veteran team, and now they got Torts lighting the fire under them, and it's working. I think that series is going to go 6 or 7 games, you know, and it's going to be fun the whole way. And I'm really curious to see how the rest of it shakes out.
Yeah, I do too. You know, it's funny. You mentioned that the documentary. I've been pitching a scripted version of that for a few years.
Oh, man.
Because I'm like, yo, this is miracle, right?
It's miracle before miracle.
Meets the Cold War, right? Like it's the perfect, it's the perfect series that you could use. Like, and I wanted scripted because I think it's more, because you have all the other stuff. I think the scripted piece of it makes it more fun.
Yeah, and I love it because for 2 reasons. Number one, Flyers fans today, the young ones who are kind of, you know, they've been fans, but are
it's
now
before
really
our
getting
time.
into
Let's
it.
face it. Like,
Right. I don't think they appreciate how huge that game was.
Yeah.
The fact that the NHL and North America had so much.
Landscape.
Yeah, the politics. And I also
bullies. They were the enemy of the league.
Exactly.
The league hated them.
Right. And they got to save North American hockey for the entire continent. And then the other thing is, I love moments in Philly sports that are great and timeless and even rarer than a championship, like Halliday's playoff no-hitter and the Flyers coming back from 3-0 against the Bruins in 2010 and that game. You know, no, it wasn't a Stanley Cup, but it was right up there alongside it.
That's such a great topic of conversation because immediately my mind went to, the non-championship moments that had bigness to them.
Yeah.
Right? Like that had big, like in a non-good way, the Fog Bowl, right? Like the Fog Bowl was like, imagine today, they would just have a weather delay. Like, how could you not have a weather delay when nobody could see the field? Like, when you think back to our childhood of sports, it was ridiculous. It was stupid. Like during COVID, Chunas and I had this great idea to replay all these games. And I went back and we were getting audio from all these games. And we did Eagles. We did a whole Eagles thing. And there was an important game. And this was like in the 90s. And the Eagles had the lead with 2 minutes, like after the 2-minute warning, and they're throwing the ball with the lead.
Yeah.
Like I started to think, I go, like, none of this really mattered. Like back then, it was just dumb. They did dumb things that were not just smart to winning.
I remember this. This is kind of obscure, but a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, NBC Sports Philadelphia or Comcast Sportsnet, whatever it was called at the time, showed a replay of this classic Big Five game from the 1968-69 season between Villanova and LaSalle. When both teams were in the top 20, LaSalle was the second best team in the country that year to UCLA. And it was a tight game. LaSalle's got Kenny Durrett and Larry Cannon, and Villanova's got Howard Porter and Fran O'Hanlon. and it's like a 3 or 4 point game in the final 2 minutes, and Villanova's not fouling to stop the clock. Like they were just dribbling the ball around and shooting like there were 15 minutes left in the game. And it's like, I can't believe I'm watching this. Like,
Yes.
What are you guys doing? And it was so foreign to see something like that, given how far we've come since
So
then.
it had a little bit of an impact on me in that it kind of cheapened everything I saw up until 2000, I guess, up until this century. I
Yeah.
remember thinking, this was stupid. It was all bogus. It wasn't good. Like none of it was good. Like here's
Yeah.
the other aspect of it. The athlete after a game was drinking a beer and smoking a cigarette.
Smoking a cigarette.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Even Larry Goodenough said it last night at this screening I was at. He's like, I watched this game of us playing the Russians, and we all look like we're skating in sand. Everybody's so slow.
Yes.
And those two teams led the league in comb overs. Everybody's got a freaking, nobody's wearing helmets on the Flyers. They've all got comb overs. Eddie Van Imp's going, he looks like George Costanza with his hair. I mean, it's crazy.
It's insane. Like, and think about the baseball players, right? You either had little dudes, frumpy dudes, but whatever it was, they didn't have any muscle tone.
No. Very few of them wore batting gloves.
Right.
The way they swap the
Could you
bat.
imagine? They weren't using batting gloves. Like, what?
Yeah, it's fun to look back on that, and it makes you realize like how different it is, in some ways how much better it is.
Yes.
Go watch the Sixers Celtics or the Celtics Lakers from the 80s. In a half-court possession, all 5 players on defense are packed inside the 3-point arc. Because the whole thinking at the time is, well, we got to prevent Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from getting the ball in the post, or we've got to prevent Kevin McHale or Moses Malone from getting in the post. Larry Bird could have shot 30 open threes a game if he wanted to, because nobody was guarding him out there.
Nobody. It's unbelievable. It really is. Like, when I hear people talk about,
there we go.
Dick Allen in the White
The
Sox
man,
dugout
Dick Allen.
smoking.
Awesome.
The dugout.
When I hear about, that's classic, Jules. When I hear about, sports was so much better back in the day, I laugh. I go, no, it wasn't. There was what was better about it?
No, the players are much more athletic, bigger, faster, stronger now. The quality of play is better now. And it doesn't mean that those guys weren't great. Like I can remember seeing Larry Boa play catch one day when he was a coach with the Phillies a few years ago, like when he was 73 years old. And watching him throw the ball, it was like the baseball was shot out of a gun. And it's like, this guy is 73, as great a player as he was in the majors, he had to like scrap and claw, and he was a little guy, like had to wring every drop of talent out of himself. And even he, at age 73, is throwing the ball harder than I've ever seen anyone throw a baseball in my life.
Yeah, no, that's a great point of distinction, because I was in a restaurant with Dan Marino. We were in, it was Anthony's Coal Fire Pizza, and Dan was an investor, right? So we were opening up one of the Anthony's, and they had these chandelier, like these things come from the ceiling. They were like lamps that came down from the ceiling, and Dan was like across the restaurant, and he had a football, and I went, "Yo, Dan," right?
Oh.
And like, meanwhile, the ball, it must have weaved through the lamps and somehow landed, hit the diamond right in the middle. Like, and I remember going, I looked at him. I mean, it had to have been 30 yards, right? Like, it's across the restaurant. And he just smiled. I was like, damn, how did you make that throw? Like, I'm not thinking he's going to throw it. He threw it. And the freaking ball was like a homing pigeon, right? And I was like, oh my God, like, wow, that's a skill.
You want to see, go on YouTube. Back in the day, in the 80s and early 90s, when they would do the quarterback competitions at the Pro Bowl, where they would have like target practice, and they'd
Yes.
have guys like trying to throw the ball in the trash can from like 40 yards away. Marino won one of those one time. They would have this target practice where they'd have these like golf carts with targets on them, like moving from the left and the right across a football field.
Yes, I remember it. Yes, I love that.
And Marino won one on the final throw where he hit hit a moving target from 40 yards away. You have to see this to believe it. Like, it's anything Patrick Mahomes does is amazing, but like, I want to see him do this, because seeing Marino hit this target, this moving target from 40 yards away on the money with like, $75,000 on the line, it was just amazing.
I think that, you know what's funny? It's funny you bring this up, because I would love to see like a handful of those dudes and extrapolate if they were born in this era and played in this era with the nutrition, the intellectual improvement of the game, like all those factors, and what they would become, like what they would be.
John Elway in today's day and age,
Right?
Like Randall with a decent coach.
Yes. Imagine like that dude never had a freaking coach. He had it like coach. Like, I mean, what? I don't want to call be mean and be names, right? But he was, you're talking about one of the most.
He was just the best, man. You talking about the eye test, Randall. There's nothing like
I know. I mean, the guy whose answer was the chart smeared in the rain. Like, what? Like, these guys were really gym teachers. Like, they weren't real like students of the game.
Yeah, and that's why, I try to tell people nowadays who get so worked up about the A.J. Brown situation or what's going on with the Phillies, like, look, you don't know. You think you know misery. You think you know hapless Philadelphia teams, but you really don't know. Pull up a chair and let Uncle Mike and Uncle Anthony tell you what things were really like back in the day.
Yes. All right, real quick, the other two. Sixers hire a GM and announce it through Shams on Friday night.
Yeah, this is like a president firing his chief of staff, You got to do it for the news dump on Friday.
Are they the worst franchise, like, in all of sports, like with the Jets?
They are. They're making a run for it. They're making a run for it. Like, look, Gansey may turn out to be very good. I know they like him. I know they think he's a good basketball mind, and they think he's a good guy who will learn from Bob Myers. And Myers is a smart guy. Yeah. But like, you're not doing yourself any favors by announcing this at 6:15 or leaking it to Shams at 6:15 on a Friday night. And we haven't gotten the guy yet. Like,
and here's
no press conference.
I mean, it's insane. And I look at it and like, hey, I think Bob Myers, sharp guy, whatever. But, he's working remotely from California. Like, part of with the Sixers, a big issue with them is they're not rooted here. They don't feel rooted here.
No. I was having this conversation with a former NBA exec not long ago. And he made a great point, which is you can sometimes see which franchises in the NBA are successful based on where their ownership is. Miami is rooted in Miami. Dolan, as crazy as he is, and as bad as the Knicks were for all that time, at least they were trying to be good. They were terrible at trying to be good, but eventually they figured it out. And the fact that Josh Harris doesn't live here, the fact that he isn't hearing it, like he goes to a game, cheers, and then goes back to the Upper East Side. And he's not hearing it day after day, living it day after day in the Delaware Valley. I'm not sure he has an appreciation for how down people are about the Sixers. And even if he did, I'm not sure he cares.
No.
So that matters a lot. You know, I was very critical of Ed Snyder at times, but at least Ed was here, hearing it, working on it, understanding it. You know, you can't say that about Harris Blitzer.
No. I mean, it's why it's why the world needs Jerry Jones. Like I love the fact that he reminds me of Ed Snyder in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know, there's the similarities. Like, you know, and it goes to show you Jeffrey, the fact that Jeffrey's here. Jeffrey has this pride in that franchise. He's not looking to own other franchises in other cities. He said, all right, I'm going to own the Eagles. I'm going to move to Philadelphia from Boston, and I'm going to make this my home. And he did it 30 years ago, and he stayed true to his word.
Yeah, same thing with John Middleton. Again, like kind of diet Steinbrenner, but you know he wants to win. Not every move he makes is correct. Not every decision he makes is right, but at least you know he's here and he's giving a damn.
So I'll ask you this because we finished with the Phillies. How do you navigate the rest of this year? Because you look at it and you go, you know, you got Sanchez and Wheeler and like Nola pitched well for second straight start, right? You know their lineup is just tragically not good.
Yeah.
How do you reconcile the rest of the year and just go, hope you get a bat and let's go in October?
I think I don't know what the alternative is. Is there anybody they're bringing up who is going to inject something into this lineup? Do you bring Felix Reyes back? Maybe if he continues hitting well at AAA, you just say, you know what, kid, you can't possibly be any worse in right field or left field or wherever we play you than Garcia is at the plate. I mean, I never thought anybody would like yearn for Nick Castellanos, and I'm not sure anybody is, but like Garcia's doing everything he can to make people miss Nick Castellanos. I mean, it's insane.
And Reyes, every time I go on social media, Reyes hit another home run at Lehigh Valley.
I told you guys, I saw him in the prospects, the futures game in spring training, and the ball just rocketed off his bat. It sounded different off his bat than everybody else in that game. And I know that's like an old school, like trust your gut kind of thing, but it just did. And now you see the productivity. Like leave him out there and see what he can do.
I think his average is over 300 too. I mean, I know he struggled up here, but everybody struggles once they make the adjustment. For the most part, everybody struggles.
You might have to just let him.
Yeah.
He might. Again, can he be any worse than Garcia's been?
No.
No,
defensively.
You know what the problem is? Yeah, defensively, he's actually good. But the real issue is, like, you look at Crawford. Like, there was a nice bump base hit last night. He's not going to give you anything. Like, he's not giving you, like, he is what he is. Like, you hit the ball on the ground that much, like, that's all you're going to get. I don't know. You know, Marsh is out of his mind. 4 more hits last night, right? Like, go figure that.
For the league in average.
But then you got, you got Mr. Getup, you got Bohm, 2 more ground and double plays.
It was weird. I was watching the game at the bar, and he grounded it into the fielder's choice, got the run, and one guy was happy. I was like, oh. Then I look on the chart. It's an 83-mile-per-hour sinker right over the middle of the plate.
Yeah.
Right over the middle of the plate, and he grounds into a double play with it.
Grounds into it. I know. To answer your question, Ann, I'm of 2 minds about this. On the one hand, I've always been like, you can't mortgage the future all the time to go try to win a World Series. But they don't produce any prospects who turn out to be great players. So why not go for it? Like, all their good players right now are guys they brought in from elsewhere.
Right. Like Murphy talking about Aiden Miller. I go, am I gonna believe Aiden Miller is the next great coming?
Right, and that's the thing. They produce so few great players from within their system that anytime any one of them shows any promise, people go gaga for it.
Yes.
And it's like, for the guy, and it's like, well, wait a minute. Like, the reason we're all talking about Aiden Miller is because there isn't anybody else to talk about.
Right. No, dude, I'm with you.
We're pushing everybody's buttons today in the chat. Farsi says, Rojas got 2 seasons to put together, and Crawford gets 2 months. Relax.
No,
I'm not
it's not
saying,
about.
I'm not saying ditch the
listen,
kid.
listen,
Yeah.
you're taking it the wrong way. Oh, you're taking it the wrong way. When I bring up Crawford, it's about the skill set. It's not that I don't like Crawford. It's that he's a singles hitter. He's got no power. And you have an outfield that's powerless.
Yeah.
You already got Marsh. It's a good fact he's hitting. He's not a power guy. He's not a run producer. You got nothing in the outfield producing runs.
And Crawford's not even as good as Rojas was defensively. Rojas is a far better
That's
defensive
what we're
field.
talking about. What are you looking at? Fartsy? Who said that? Fartsy?
Yeah, it's Farsi.
Fartsy, what are you looking at? You're going to get him to get pencil bat. God love him. If he was playing center and I had two bombardiers in left and right, I'm great with Crawford.
Right.
I hit him at the top or the 9-hole and roll through the left. But on this team, where am I going to hit him?
Right.
I got enough of that.
Their 3 best hitters. Here's the ultimate conundrum, right? Their 3 best hitters, the guys who you want getting more at bats than anybody, are Schwarber, Harper, and Marsh. They're all lefties.
Yes.
You can't bat them in the first 3 spots of the lineup.
Right. That was the other issue I got with Crawford. I love the kid, but
he's a left-handed
lefty.
You know, late in the game, the opposing team, the Dodgers or the Braves, whoever, bring in one quality lefty. They'll go through them.
Why don't they go get Scooble? Like, you don't think they're going to do whatever they can to get Scooble? Because they go, all right, who do we got to worry about? We got Milwaukee and the Phillies. The best players on Milwaukee, Yelich, lefty. Turang, lefty. Phillies, Harper, Schwarber. You don't think that they're going to do whatever they can? Because if they get Scooble, they win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry, cousin. I mean, look, hey, enjoy Cristopher Sánchez tonight. Enjoy him the rest of the season. Enjoy what the starting pitching is doing. And if you're a Phillies fan, hope for the best come October.
Yeah.
I'm going down tonight. I'm hoping I'm not a mush.
No.
Don't be seven scoreless tonight. Let's go.
You're gonna be sitting there. Come on, Kryptonite. Come on, Kryptonite.
Hey, next week, the brain's here. Next week, let's go trivia.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
None of your stupid AI questions that are
no.
I'm
going to write a bunch of questions.
All right.
And I want to do it. We can have this whole I want to do a whole trivia over the summer. All right.
To get good times, actually. Write some questions.
All right. So let's do it. It'll be fun. You're the best, brother. We love you.
2 brain enter, 1 brain leave. There can be only 1 Highlander.
Sounds great. See you, pal.
See you guys.
Here he is, Mike Sielski. I don't know. I thought that was I'm surprised that Jonesy would have Fartsy would have that thing.
We're irritating everybody today in the chat.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Homegrown Phillies outfielders. Coach Jim just sent this.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Homegrown Phillies outfielders with 300 plus plate appearances in a season since 2000.
Pat Burrell.
Number 1.
Yep.
Number 2. You know who else?
Rojas.
Number 2, Marlon Byrd.
Oh, man.
Number 3, Jason Michaels.
Oh, man.
Number 4, Dominic Brown.
Oh, he was the savior.
Number 5,
3 great months.
Cody Ashe.
Cody Ashe.
Number 6, Aaron Altair.
Oh, my God. He looked great in a uniform. I thought he was going to be a player.
Number 7, Reese, when he played outfield in 2018.
Oh, man.
Number 8, Kingery, Scotty Jetpacks.
What did he get, $14 million out?
Number 9, Matt Vierling.
Oh, he had a nice game yesterday. Drove in a run, scored a run. He's still going.
And number 10, your boy Rojas.
Wow, what a list.
That's from Todd Zalecki, courtesy of Coach Jim from the Warriors.
Wow, what a list.
I'll send it to Jules so you can see it.
Feeble.
Is that not just
outfielder? Come on.
I mean, that's terrible.
We're not talking about a skilled shortstop. We're talking about outfield.
Outfield.
Right.
And that's what I mean about Crawford. It's not about the kid. It's about what's around the kid when you're building an outfield. Why are we upset in the chat? We're talking sports. Sometimes you got to
They don't like our takes today.
Stand them over here and look at it with your sports brain. Sports brain. I need you to use your sports brain.
I'd kill for
you guys are smart.
I'd kill for Veerley.
All right. Let's take a quick TO. Come back. Brain will join us.
Brain's gonna make Farty jump off the cliff.
Let's talk about Parks Casino. Brain's here. So Parks Casino, he's the ambassador, and all the great acts that'll go through Parks Casino, one after another. Like whatever you're into. You like classic rock bands,
yes,
right? You like comedians,
yes.
Do you like magicians?
Oh yeah,
like the Carbonaro effect.
Yeah, do you like hair metal like Sebastian Bach? Yes,
like all the incredible acts that go through Parks Casino. It really is tremendous.
You like Smokey Robinson,
right?
September 18th.
Gene Simmons,
Roger Daltrey, September
20th. America.
I've been through the desert on a horse.
Right, like all these bands come through. It's a great venue, and there's something to do every night. ParksCasino.com to buy tickets. You can do all your fun and stay over at the new Parks View Hotel, just steps from the casino. ParksCasino.com to buy tickets for all the shows. You got to be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Parks Casino, this is how you win.
For the past 30 years, Golden Nugget Jewelers has operated out of the very same location in the heart of Philadelphia. Customers from across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, even Baltimore, New York City have come to Golden Nugget Jewelers to find that perfect engagement ring, wedding band, or gift. Their staff is highly trained and dedicated to providing a personalized experience. I've gone there a couple of times. I had to replace a diamond in a ring. I had to get a necklace. They're not pushy. The staff is super informative. It's just a great shopping experience. They have a vast selection of engagement rings and wedding bands, along with high-end watches, fashion jewelry, sparkling diamond necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and everything else you could think of. You receive a final cleaning and written appraisal with every engagement ring purchase. And Golden Nugget Jewelers, they're family-owned. They've been operating since 1987, right there on Chestnut Street at 8th in downtown Philadelphia. You deserve an expert, and you deserve the best price. Golden Nugget Jeweler, where Philly gets engaged. Visit goldennuggetjewelry.com to learn more and get that special gift.
Brain. Red the Brain Finder.
Oh, hello, Brain.
I have to say, first of all, good morning. But you know what's funny? I looked this up. I wasn't crazy. Marlon Byrd kind of had an underrated career. I know he got traded out of Philly pretty early. Played 15 years, 275 career batting average, 760 OPS, 160 career home runs, played 15 years. He was actually an above average major league player who actually had a nice career, but they got rid of him after, I think, 2 or 3 years. But he actually was a good productive player, just not for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Not great. But I'm saying he played 15 years.
But here,
had an above average.
Here's the point, right?
Average.
The point of that
is
this is what the Phillies have produced in their farm system.
Squaddish.
Marlon
What about
Byrd
the pitching?
Second, right?
Yeah.
Second. Jason Michaels, Dominic Brown, Cody Ashton, Aaron Altair, Reese, Scott Kingery, Matt
It's
Veerley,
crazy.
Johan Rojas. I mean, what? Like, you want to talk about one inept franchise at developing talent? What? How could you look at me in a straight face when you can't produce an outfielder?
Horrible.
Here's where we
It
are.
is crazy. But hasn't the pitching been just as bad, ironically enough?
Well, no. I mean, the
You don't
pitching.
think?
Well, the homegrown you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean
Mm.
Sanchez.
Nola.
Hamels. I mean, they've got.
No, but that's 3 guys in 20 years.
Yeah, but listen, they've made good
One every
signings.
7 years.
I mean, they've had decent pitching, right?
Homegrown? I'm going to beg to differ. You said them to 3 names. Give me a 4th, and that's in 25 years. So if you're satisfied with 1 every 8 years, you're a better man than me.
All right, who am I missing pitching wise?
You're missing no one. Don Carmen. Don Carmen and Pat Honeycombs. I mean, you're missing. I mean, who are you missing? It's who the team is missing. Bruce Ruffin.
Bruce Ruffin.
That's who you're missing.
He was a lefty.
No,
Bruce
I'm being
Ruffin.
serious. I'm not being
Randy
a wise
Wolf?
ass. Like look at the obviously Nola was great. Hamels was fantastic. Sanchez has been those three have been
I mean,
great.
Sanchez is an all-timer.
No, I'm saying in
Yeah.
25 years, you hit Anthony.
Vance Worley.
Your dog by
My
accident
boy
could
Vance.
bark. Who should we draft in the draft? The dog barks 5 times, take this player. 3 times, take that
Here you
player.
go. I got
Anyone could do better.
past 40 seasons. These are the top Phillies homegrown pitchers by career WAR. Cole Hamels,
Love the quickness.
Cole Hamels, Aaron Nola, Kevin Gross, Randy Wolf, Brett Myers.
Randy Wolf was good.
Brett Myers, Ryan Madsen, Don Carmen, Kyle Kendrick, Hector Neris, and Ricky Battalica. That's as of
rest my case.
2019. So you had Sanchez.
That's
of
40
that.
years. That's 40 years. 40.
Yeah. Well, compete. Yeah, but at least you had 3 studs compared to the outfield.
Anthony, 40 years.
No, I know, but look at the outfield. The outfield's worse.
And this draft, the draft is like 47, 60 rounds. You got a lot of
I just don't know
chances
how
there.
you could go this. I don't know how you could miss that many times. Like, it's actually fascinating. And I'm glad you guys brought this up.
Let's take it a step further. How many infielders are they?
Yeah, I was gonna
I mean, you had
say.
Huntley and Howard, right?
And Chase.
Jimmy.
I said Huntley and Howard.
Oh, and Jimmy.
Jimmy
And
Rollins.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Boom.
Oh my God. I'm just saying their ineptitude is actually kind of crazy.
It's generational. It's no matter what regime.
It really
in
is.
charge,
I didn't
they
until
stink.
you really started doing
Who's
this.
worse at developing talent? The Sixers or the Phillies?
The Phillies, because what are you talking? I gave you 40 years. There's 35 rounds of thing. They picked nothing.
At least the
And we're
Phillies,
talking like 40
at
man,
least
40
the
man
Phillies
rosters.
have won, and they've made correct moves in free agency.
Anthony, here's my point. Whoever was running the team the last 40 years, you could literally pick a newborn infant who just cries and I hear their name, and that's how you go by. And they would have had just as much success percentage-wise at picking good players.
This is where we're at.
I'm just right on this.
Because Colby
It's not an
Combs,
opinion.
Colby Combs brought up in the chat, and I'm with him. This is where with them. This is where I'm at. We're watching 17-year-old Francisco Renteria is the future. He's 17. He's played 3 games. His exit velocity is 110. He's blazing around the bases. It's like this is where we're at. In the minors.
Bring him up. I got
I'm curious if any other team has been this inept. No, I'm being serious. Has there been another team this inept as the Phillies? I know. I feel like I have to go through every team because this is ineptness that it's just actually mind-blowing. The outfielders is crazy that they could be that bad.
Gavin Floyd,
And the
J.A. Happ.
J.A. Happ actually
Was
went
Carlos
up
Carrasco
He
here?
had a half-decent career. I'm not going to, he was a major league pitcher for 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Carlos
I mean,
Carrasco had a career.
there. Yeah.
Ranger?
I mean,
Yeah, Ranger.
Yeah,
Ranger.
helping us out.
Ranger.
There you
Okay.
go.
Good
The
job,
pitching,
Jack.
the outfielder's worse. The outfield is definitely worse. You're 100% right.
Yes.
You're 100% right.
Outfield's
The outfield is-
tragically bad.
Yeah,
Trash.
the outfield.
Horrible outfield. You can get anybody to play outfield.
I am stunned how bad the list was. I have to tell you. I mean, I'm surprised our friend Ron Jones didn't make it, Anthony.
Ron Jones. Wow.
One good year.
That's a
One
bust
good
out.
year. I think at 362.
Yeah.
I remember playing Major League Baseball with Ron Jones.
Ron
did that 1 year.
Jones. That's a great name. That's a great
Yeah.
bust out. Hey, do me a favor,
Yes, sir.
Rain. We got to take a quick TO. We'll come back.
Yep.
All right. So stay
Yep.
with us.
Yep.
And then we got finals coming up
A lot of stuff.
tonight. Game 1, Knicks, Spurs. It's gonna be awesome. Lots of good to touch with the brain. I also want to throw him an announcer thing
All right.
because he watches a lot of TV like me, a lot of sports TV. Russell Wilson
Oh, so disinterested.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, let's talk about our friends. Let's talk about TrueMark Credit Union. Let's talk about something that you like, something that actually rewards the way you already spend your money. It's exactly what you get with the Everyday Elite Visa credit card from TrueMark Credit Union. We're talking 4% cash back on eligible everyday purchases, including gas. For a limited time, new cardholders get a 0% introductory APR on purchases for the first 12 months. Then it's 17.99 APR after that. More cash back, less cash. So you're going to the grocery store. And Lord knows, I was at the store and I'm like, how am I spending $185 on what? I ain't got nothing. I got to feed my family. TrueMark.com. Stop by TrueMark Credit Union's 24 branch locations. Rates based on credit worthiness, 4% cash back on eligible purchase. Visit TrueMark.com for details. Insured by the NCUA. Wawa's got tacos. Tacos. Oh, Wawa expanding its freshly prepared food lineup with new seasoned beef tacos available for a limited time. Built to deliver bold, craveable flavor in every bite. We're talking warm, soft tortillas filled with Wawa's savory, juicy, boldly seasoned beef, plus fresh toppings that you can customize your way. You got options too, from seasoned beef, chicken, steak, black beans, shredded cheddar cheese. Pick up 2 spreads like salsa roja, garlic aioli, barbecue, ranch, buffalo, chipotle, and you top it off with shredded lettuce, salsa, fire-roasted corn, onions, or pickled jalapenos, all packed in a 6-inch soft flour tortilla, making it perfect handheld or on-the-go option. Seasoned beef tacos doesn't stop, all right? It's available across the full lineup, including burritos, bowls, and quesadillas, so you can mix and match and build the meal that fits your appetite. But don't wait. The lineup is only here for a limited time while supplies last. Next time you're at Wawa, grab a taco and find your new go-to order.
Can I read this tweet by Mary Kay Cabot? She's pretty good with Cleveland.
Yes.
So she's got sources telling her the Eagles never made a play for Myles Garrett, and there's zero chance the Browns would have had any interest in Jalen Carter.
Well, I told you that they didn't go after.
I'm more surprised that the Browns would have zero interest in Jalen Carter.
I don't know. I mean, all right. I mean, I said that they didn't go after Myles Garrett. I knew that. I told you.
I'm wondering if they didn't go after him just because the Browns were like, "No, we don't."
No, they didn't go after him because they didn't want all that money tied up on the defense. They just got too much money on that side of the ball. You got to pay Quinyon. You got to pay Cooper.
You got to pay Jalen.
Right. Like they weren't going to do that. And by the way, you just signed Grenard.
Right.
So that's why I told you that they weren't in at all. It's irrelevant whether the Browns like Jalen Carter or not. All right, we're back with the Brain. Brain, let me ask you a question. Russell Wilson, you watch a lot of TV. You watch sports. Like I love watching. I love announcers. You love announcers, right? We've had this conversation.
Yeah, of course.
Russell Wilson is going to work at CBS.
Yeah.
Now, I don't see it. I think he will be one of the more annoying analysts.
Yeah, I
go
have the same hunch.
Russ, ew.
Have the same hunch as you. It's funny. I was actually thinking as you were talking, and I was like, what adjective would I use? And I was like, I couldn't come up with it. And then you said annoying. I'm like, that's it. Annoying.
Right? Like, I love Brady.
How my wife describes me, by the way.
He's great.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't have a good feel on him. I think he'll not only be annoying, I think he'll be one of those guys that's like, doesn't bring like a ton of insight. I think he's just going to be like very vanilla, very never like, I like it when announcers try to teach me something I don't know, or they point something out that I may not be seeing, or they're not afraid to criticize if someone deserves criticism on a play. I like honesty, right? And I just have a bad feeling for him. He's going to be fake for, just
but
my
you know
word.
if I was CBS, I don't know where he signed. I think he signed somewhere. And it might have been NBC. I'm not sure. But I'd have him do games. Is Tomlin. I think he would be great.
I love
I'd
him.
be interested to hear him.
He would be awesome as an
I
analyst.
do like him.
Yeah, I would love to hear
I
him.
do like him. Yeah, I agree
He's
with
got a little
that.
personality.
To me, he would be
Yeah.
real.
And
Press
he
conferences are
knows the
fun.
game. Like you want the reason why coach quarterback make the best analysts is because you're just involved. Like, right, you just know the game at a certain level. Like, you give me Tomlin, I think he would be fantastic.
Good call by you.
All
Good
right,
call by you.
game 1. I can't wait, dude. I'm actually as excited. I was out for the first 2 rounds of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And now I feel like OKC Spurs got me in, and I can't wait to see Wemby versus the Knicks.
I got to say this, and because I read this today, and it made me feel a little better. Because I mean, anyone who's against the Knicks has been pointing out the level of competition. Well, I read something that was pretty freaking interesting. In the history of the NBA, playoffs, regular season, preseason, whatever you freaking want to say, in the history of the NBA, there has never been, in the history of the league, a 12-game stretch where a team has won their points by as many points per game as they have, 23.8. So you can say whatever you want about the schedule.
Yeah.
Well, during the regular season, you play bad teams all the time. These are teams that have won 50 games they beat. Atlanta won 50 games. Cleveland won 55. The Sixers would have won over 50 for sure with Embiid, no question. They would have. They won 45 anyway. They absolutely would have won 50. So my point being is, for all that criticism, they beat no one. In the history of the league, no one has ever done what this team is doing right now. So I'm really curious to see all those people who are against me, if they're right, and this is just like all product of the. But they changed. I always say things are fundamentally different. The Knicks changed the way they played. Towns has become like the de facto point guard, not Brunson. He's had the ball in his hands. They're running the offense through him a lot more. They changed how they play, and it's whatever reason, whatever you call it, a fluke, whatever it is, it's working. And there was a fundamental difference in how they're playing the game, and it's showing in the scoreboard. Again, I think this is going to be a great series. If they played OKC, that was going to be, no joke, probably my biggest bet of the year would have been on the Knicks, because I would have made them a massive favor.
Yeah, no, you've been consistent in saying this, Brain, and you've been right. First of all, you've nailed the whole playoffs. Like, you've been right.
I've been there. I think I picked every series right, so I can't. I've been pretty. This has been good so far.
Now,
knock on wood.
I've kind of been on the Knicks got to show me a little bit. And
sure, I get it.
Because I'm fast. I think my gut tells me you're right, but I still there's still a part of me going, you beat donkeys, right? Like,
yeah, true. It's fair. It's fair. I think it's going to be a really good series. Again, I think it'll go at least 6. If this series doesn't go 6 games, I'll be very disappointed, very surprised. I really think now that's a 6-game series. I mean, it's a great series, but I don't think it's going to be like a 5-game like San Antonio just romps, or the Knicks just continue to romp the way they have. Right? They've beaten everyone. They've swept everyone. So you could, in fairness, you could say the Knicks. People could think the Knicks are going to sweep them, but I think this will be a very good series. I have a ton of respect for the Spurs. I think they're the most talented team in the NBA. I think they're phenomenal. To me, it's like 51-49. I lean Knicks. With the price, it's easy for me, Knicks. But the series to me is 50-50 as any series I can recall, Anthony. Honestly, since I've been following the NBA postseason, I'd go that far. I am more confused to win this series going into a series than any series I can remember.
So I'm trying to think about the matchups, right? Like, so how's the match? I always like to match things up and see.
Yeah, of course.
I play it out in my head. So let's go Wemby first. So OG on Wemby. You can't get Towns near him because Towns will get in foul trouble.
Foul trouble. He's a foul magnet. I agree 100%. You cannot get Towns.
So you're going to have to go OG and Josh Hart guard him.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, those guys, and I'm telling you, and I know it sounds dumb. I told you that one comment, but I was there, and I was 1 foot away from this guy, and I was struck just how thick, strong, and big OG is. I remember thinking to myself, man, this guy could freaking guard centers. I actually made a mental note of it when I'm watching this. I'm like, man, this guy could probably guard anyone. Now, again, can he guard Wemby effectively? Look, that's a different issue. But I at least think he has the strength to maybe annoy Wemby. Obviously, he doesn't have the size. No one does in the whole league to get in his face per se. But I think he could annoy him, bump him out, make him uncomfortable. And again, playing against someone really strong like that, like Steven Adams types, that could be annoying for like a skilled player when you have someone who's just really strong and physical. I think he may have a little bit more success than people think. I actually bet Wemby under 27.5. Again, he's a great player, but in this series, I have it closer to 25.5 for me personally in my numbers, but we'll see. Again, it should be very interesting to see how he does, or if he just has too much size and he's going to just too much size is going to overwhelm him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's that matchup is fascinating. Now, the other thing is who guards Brunson. Now, the guard San Antonio is a very good defensive team, right? So,
Tremendous.
like, you're not going to have the Brunson advantage the way you had against Cleveland and the Sixers.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And again, I love this team defense. Again, the thing to me is, and again, OKC has a lot of great defensive players in that series. I love Caruso. I love, oh my God, not Caruso. The guy who led league in steals. I'm thinking of his name. He went to Kentucky. Who's the guard who's really good on Carson Walls, Kason Walls. I like Walls. I liked him too. Those two guys I really thought were good defensively. But when I watch the Spurs, again, I am incredibly impressed with. Obviously, Wemby changes everything, and he's a foul magnet too, Castle. But I think he's really tough. I think this is going to be a really, really good series. I'm super excited about it. I'm sure the league has to be pumped. By the way, did you guys read? And this very rarely ever happens, guys. Sports books. There was 2 teams they lose money on to win the championship. They make it on 28. They lose on 2. Who are the 2 they lose on? The Spurs and the Knicks.
Wow, that's wild. That's pretty cool.
You guys, during the season,
never happens that way.
3 games they matched up. Brunson averaged 27 and 8. I mean, you think that changes in the playoffs?
Yeah.
It's one thing I've learned, VG, and again, is it the playoffs, and I have to like retrain my brain every single year. The playoffs, it's a different sport in the regular season. It just is, and it shows itself every single year. It just is different. I absolutely do agree with Anthony on that. I think everything is different.
And he also seems like a different player in the playoffs. So
he does. Oh, he does.
He's phenomenal.
I think it's going to come down to,
I like his
he's not
over
going to get
24
shut
and a half,
down,
actually.
But he's not going to go. Yeah. He dominated stretches of the game. The reason why they blew out those teams and won by what Brain's talking about is because everything went through Brunson. Like, Brunson was able to do whatever he wanted against Cleveland and the Sixers, right? And then they got open shots. Look at the open looks that they shot ridiculous from threes, but they're all open looks. You're collapsing on Brunson, right? They have great ball movement, like Brain said. They're going through Cat, and it worked, right? Now, San Antonio is a different beast. You got a real rim protector, and you got
some wings with some length,
and you got guards that can defend.
So I'm looking on BetParks now. Jalen Brunson's over 25 points is minus 132. What do you think of that, Brain?
I bet over 24.5 for a small bet, but I would never lay minus 132. That I would not do. But I still, and I know what you're saying, but I also say there's 2 sides to that coin. Brunson scoring all these points playing limited minutes because they've won every game by 50. He hasn't even played the fourth quarter in any of these games. Not exactly. He really hasn't. So to me, in a game like this, series like this, they're not beating the Spurs by 50. I may not know much. I know that. Okay, if they win these games, they're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 point games. They're not blowing the Spurs team out. So I think at least we'll get a full run from Brunson. Smaller bet. Again, I bet Wemby under 27.5. I did bet a little bit on Brunson over 24.5. Also bet Champagne over 9.5. He's been consistently all year.
Champagne is a terrific role player. Look, he won Game 7. He was
a terrific role player.
In the third quarter, he scored 11 of their 13 points during that run, which was able
he gets great looks.
Banging threes, a 6'7" wing. Oh, let's see.
You know what
the freaking Sixers gave up on him too.
For who? For who?
He became what I hope Matisse
the
slam dunk
competition.
Matt McClung.
No, but
I'd rather have an iron lung, Matt McClung.
No, the Sixers, when they had Thibault, I was hoping he could be this kind of player. the way Champagne is, but he just didn't. He could never shoot the ball. It just never developed. This guy can shoot the ball really well. Look, he's playing the Bruce Bowen role perfectly for this team. Plays good defense, but he hits the threes. He just makes them, but he gets open looks because of how good the other players are when Harper's on the court. Obviously Wemby. The Cell's good. Castle's great. All these guys make it where you have to choose your poison, and he gets a lot of open looks and he bangs them down. He just does.
All right, your official plays are today?
I got a lot today, Anthony. I actually today I had a lot of stuff. I'll run you through it. Shohei Ohtani going against Zach Gallen, laid a half run on the 5-inning line, had to lay about $1.20. Gallen has been absolutely brutal. Ohtani, look this up. Literally every start is almost 0 runs per game. Like, he doesn't give up a courtesy run. His ERA is still less than 1. Skeens Arrighetti, I bet under 4, laying $1.15. I thought this total should have been 3.5. They made it 4. That extra half run to me is the edge. That to me, if it's 2-2, it doesn't help you, but at least that's a tie as opposed to a loss. Burns against Kolek, Cincinnati. Burns got scratched the other day, but now he's pitching against Stephen Kolek. I bet 2 things this one. I bet under 4.5 runs, laying $1.30. And I bet Burns
is nasty, man. He's nasty.
I bet Burns in the 5-inning line, laying a half run, laying $1.08. To me, again, I think Cincinnati is good enough to score at least 2 runs, not probably much more than that. And I think Burns will hold them to 0 or 1. Gavin Williams against Garrett Cole. I like Cleveland plus a half run on the 5-inning line. I laid $1.12 there. I actually think Cleveland will win the 5-inning line here without Aaron Judge. I think that's a huge loss for the Yankees. I still don't trust Cole off the DL fully. I think it's at least 50-50, but I took a half run in a game that I think will be 1-1, 2-2, something like that. I like them getting half run. Took Cristopher Sánchez laying a half run, laying $1.33 against Walker Buehler on the 5-inning line. Don't mind laying a run and a half either, but I prefer laying a half run on the 5-inning line. I know I'm going to get the full 5 innings from Sanchez. I'm expecting 0-1 run. I think the Phillies will score 2+ off Buehler. Last but not least, this is my least favorite play of the day, but I still did it. Peyton Tolley, who I really like of the Red Sox, I laid a half run laying $1.05 against Chris Bassett, who I think had a very good career, but I think he's at the way end of his career where now I think he's kind of batting practice. Boston struggles to score, so this was my least favorite of the plays I did, but I really think Tolley will shut them down, and I think Bassett is that bad, this version of him, the 38-year-old version of Bassett, that I think that they will be able to score at least 3 runs.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, La Brain, great conversation as always, buddy. Good luck.
Appreciate you guys. Be good, both of you.
There he is, the Brain, checking in.
Did Wemby get over 11.5 rebounds tonight?
You know what? It's weird. He's not a huge. He'll have those games where he doesn't.
I know.
He doesn't board.
I know.
When he gets pushed out.
I'm looking for something bad with him.
With Wemby?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe blocks. I could see him getting some blocks. They're going to attack the rim. Should be a close game.
All right.
Could play some minutes. I don't know. Love Philly. Franny coming up. Football. Philadelphia doesn't pretend. Philadelphia is. It's not just the title of Philly. It's a feeling. It's a heartbeat. A city that never asked for permission to be itself. That's us, right? That's our personality. Philadelphia doesn't pretend. Philadelphia is. And now in 2026, the world comes back to Philadelphia. Not just to remember, but to celebrate. The show isn't just about what's happening. It's about who we are while it's happening. Because Philadelphia isn't a backdrop. It's a character. It's the voice that tells it like it is. The guy at the end of the bar who doesn't sugarcoat a thing. It's the family that's been on the same block for generations. It's the artist, the athlete, the builder, the believer. It's the lifer, the dreamers, the grinders. It's all of us. And that's what Love Philly's about. We're going to sit with people that make this place go. The ones who built it, the ones carrying it, the ones pushing it forward. The legends who left their mark. Not just the championships, not just the headlines, but the moments in between. The way the city shows up for itself, the way it refuses to be anything other than real. And through it all, we're going to remind ourselves and show the world what Philadelphia is. It's not just a stereotype. It's not a punchline. It's a foundation. It's a force. It's a city that gave birth to a nation and never stopped building. So as the country turns 250 and the spotlight finds Philadelphia again, this is our moment to tell the story the right way. Not polished, not filtered, real, authentic, proud. Because this city just doesn't rise to the occasion. It defines it. This is Love Philly. Wawa loves Philly. We love Wawa. That's right. Birthed right here in the great region of the Delaware Valley.
Pretty good homegrown talent.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Cristopher Sánchez, pitcher of the month. He beats out Mizorowski from Milwaukee.
That'd be the craziest month for two pitchers.
Sick.
Ridiculous.
Right?
I don't know,
Completely ridiculous.
Combined, did they give up one run in a month?
Incredible.
Yeah. And the strikeouts of Mizorowski. I mean, that's the only advantage he really had, is strikeouts.
But it's not like Sanchez doesn't strike guys out.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the fact that he racks them up. Sanchez Day, you know what's huge is when you get a Nola win, and now you come back with Sanchez.
Yeah.
Because you just know he's going to win.
Should be good for a couple starts now. Right?
Yeah.
Should be Wheeler next. Sanchez, Wheeler? I don't know.
Yeah, we're in the Lizard.
Or Lizard?
Yeah, I mean.
Now we're good. You get the Nola wins, just bonus.
Right. The Nola.
Man, no one expects that to happen.
You know, listen, because you can't expect the kid to be, win consistent games like that. I don't
know. Here's a breakdown of the month. Mizorowski, 5-0, 38 innings pitched, 14 hits, 1 run, 6 walks, 57 Ks in 38 innings.
57 Ks in 38
in one
innings?
month. Yeah, 0.23 ERA. Sanchez, 4-0, 39 innings pitched, 25 hits, more hits, 0 runs, no runs, 3 walks, half of Mizorowski's, 45 Ks compared to his 57, and an ERA of 0.00 for the month. It's 4 starts. It's nuts. The two of them
Where do we at the
are
streak?
9-0, and the
What's
ERA
the streak right now at? How many innings?
I don't know, 44 and change.
Oral Harshizer's next.
He's got 4. I think he's 14 and a third innings.
Yeah.
World at number 1, but he can move into third all time tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm anxious, man.
Luckily, I mean, the Padres are lining up. They're having trouble swinging the bat right now.
They are,
Yeah,
dude.
so it should be okay.
Look at their lineup. Tatis, we've been talking about. He's getting the ball better. He's up to 275.
Bohm faking him out with the throw to first, a fake throw
Yes,
to first last
yeah. Dude, Machado's hitting 171.
He'd be a mess here.
171. His on base is 263.
263.
Jackson Merrill, who's supposed to be the stud,
yeah,
205. On base 277, dude.
277.
I mean, they stink.
They do stink right now.
They're bad.
They're similar to the Phillies, all pitching.
Yes, they really are. It's uncanny.
But they got a lineup too, man. It's nuts.
I know. It really is wild.
Laureano, 203.
Well, he'll be in the lineup tonight.
Yeah.
Against Sanchez.
Cassie doing what he does, 191.
Cassie tonight.
Yeah.
He'll be in tonight. He didn't play last night.
Yeah, they showed him last night. Do we need to see him? We need to see him on the screen.
I don't care. You want to talk about irrelevant to the conversation?
Yeah, exactly.
He's irrelevant to the conversation.
I feel you. I'm with you.
Right?
Yeah.
Even though he's like Gehrig compared to Garcia.
Give me the defense, man.
Oh my God. It's just brutal. All right. All right. Let's do this. Let's take quick TO. I want to come back. We got our man, Franny Films, to kind of look at different. I'm done with AJ. All right. Done with AJ.
There's no Arthur Juan Brown talk with Franny?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to talk. I just want to do a couple things. I want to talk about the offense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Since the chat is upset with the perceived taking AJ's side,
Yes,
which we're not doing. We're just kind of defending him as a villain.
just understand where he's
Like
coming from.
I just don't think he's a villain. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's look at quarterbacks. I want to do this with Fran. Look at quarterbacks and how they evolve through the years.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
The evolution of the quarterback, because that's what we're seeing with Jalen, right? Like there's going to be a distinct path in which he now goes with a new offense. And I want to look at the idea of turnovers and how not all turnovers are bad.
Oh, please, let's get away from Sirianni's no turnovers at all costs. Like,
Right?
go.
Like, so I want to cover this stuff with Fran. And then I also will do a little college football because the schedule's out, college football.
Oh, also, I got a cover of the college football game, video game. Cover's very interesting. I think you'll love it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, dude.
I give you like 2 or 3 guesses of who you think's on the cover of it. Yeah.
Really? Is it a person or a place or a thing?
It's a person. That's all I'm giving you.
Is it a player or a
I'm
coach?
not giving you anything else. Not giving you.
Signetti.
Yes.
Yes, I knew it. Signetti.
Yeah, we'll try and
That's
show
awesome.
you what it looks like later on.
Oh, my God. That is awesome. Signetti.
Yeah, I knew that'd get you fired up.
I do it. Like, that was, I love that story.
Yeah, we'll bring it
last
maybe
year.
with Franny because there's other people on there. You guys can break down the cover. You guys should let's break down.
All right.
college
Like,
football cover.
I love it. I'm very excited for all that. All right, but first, let's talk about our friends. Let's talk about the BetPark Sportsbook online casino app. Brain gave it to you. You had the list of the Brain plays.
I do have a
All right, so let's give the people the Brain plays in case you just tuned in.
These are all they're all 5-inning bets. Ohtani minus a half a run. Skeens and the Reds game under 4. Burns under 4.5. He also likes Burns. He's the Reds, right?
Yeah.
Minus a half run in 5 innings. He loves Cleveland minus a half run in the 5 innings, and he likes Sanchez minus a half run in 5 innings.
There you go.
Phillies.
All on the BetPark Sportsbook online casino app and the NBA Game 1. Spurs. Take the Spurs. I like the Spurs tonight. You can check it all out, plus all the casino games, the hottest slots around. New customers get up to $500 casino bonus back in the first 24 hours, plus the 250 spins on Gold Trio Soccer. BetParks.com is all the details. Got to be 21 in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now let's talk about Xfinity and the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi, keep the same exact price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together. Finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Let you stream the game even when the whole family's online. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 years. Best part, no annual contracts, no hidden fees. Xfinity's best equipment included. Take it from me, a lot changes in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken, dreams grow bigger. Your Wi-Fi should stay reliable, and the price should stay the same. Lock in your price. Unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. You learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Now joining us, birthday boy.
Oh, yeah, it was his birthday.
Yeah, birthday man. Let's talk to Francis. St. Francis.
Yeah, I was gonna
Franny
say,
Films.
St. Francis.
They do not crave food nor drink for nourishment.
for they exist solely on the glow of the all-22 monitors. They are the Leatherheads, and he is Franny Films.
Good morning. Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday.
Appreciate it, guys. What's going on?
Nothing. I want to talk. I'm done with AJ. It's done. It's over. No more. Right?
Yep.
Let's talk about the offense. All right. I want to really kind of get into the nitty-gritty of the offense. What is about to happen is Jalen is going to be, this is the evolution of a quarterback, how a quarterback changes through the years. I want to discuss that process because you go from a running quarterback, a guy that ran a read option, whose legs were a huge part of the game, to slowly kind of moving them into a guy that's going to run an under center offense that's predicated on ball movement, play action, and over the middle throws.
Yeah, and it's something that we've seen quarterbacks evolve over the course of their career, and it's littered all throughout the NFL. And there are different kinds of that evolution, right? Like it's a very specific track we're talking about here with Jalen Hurts. But I think when you're looking at Dak Prescott, and early on, like you leaned on his legs, he got injured a bunch, and now he's probably the best like pre-snap, like sheriff, like organizer of the offense, probably in the NFL right now. Like he is the guy when it comes to like that Peyton Manning before the snap. I'm going to command the entire operation. There's no one better in the league right now than Dak Prescott, and that was not
nobody gets the ball that quicker. Nobody gets the ball that quicker than Dak.
Yeah, you look at Jared Goff, when he was playing at Cal, coming out of college, like it's air raid, shotgun, point and shoot. And now he's like the quintessential like under center play action drop back passer, right? Like we've seen this evolution. Josh Allen. You look at Joe Burrow, how he has evolved over the course of his career. Where early on it was a lot of like big play, big play, big play. All right, now the two shell stuff comes in. Now I'm going to work a little bit more underneath, and he still has some evolution that is required with his game. So I think that we've seen examples of this throughout the course of throughout the course of recent history in the NFL. But really, what it does come down to, guys, is like, all right, like the coaches reaching the quarterback, the communication being open on the other side of it. And I'm not saying like, that Jalen is not, but what I'm saying is like when you see those successful cases of that evolution, that's what happens. It's like the player is coachable and the coaches are preaching the right message, and you've got they are simpatico in that way. And so honestly, I'm pretty enthused with what I've heard and with what I've seen and what you hear behind the scenes with how things have gone so far with this relationship. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see it play out.
Me too. Let's look at other quarterbacks who went through. You mentioned a couple, but those that are more similar to, say, Jalen, who ran that spread read option offense, and particularly took it over from college into the NFL, and really that was his only foray. Like all those OCs, they still played the same kind of offense.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I think there's a fine line between trying to like play to your quarterback's strengths and then also trying to like expand the areas of growth, right? Like trying to, allow that player to evolve. And so sometimes you can go too far the other way. And we've seen examples of that over the years where it's like, we only think this guy can do this, and we want to see. So now we are with this is the lane we have to stay in, or this is the way the quarterback wants to play. So we have to play within this sandbox, and we're not going to do X, Y, Z, right? So I think that there are examples again across the league. You can go like recent 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years. There are all examples all through. We had the conversation on the show that's going to air, I think next week, where you look at like Michael Vick, and he was asked to play a certain way when he was in Atlanta for, the entirety of his career. And he got with Andy Reid, and he was like, oh yeah, like Andy, 10 years after I was drafted, taught me how to play quarterback, right? Like you really need that specific kind of dynamic, that specific relationship sometimes to tap into a player's ultimate upside.
Let me throw a name at you, Daniel Jones, and what you saw with a lead back and a true running game, and a lot more play action, and I saw him elevate at quarterback in Indianapolis.
And that's where like you get into like the situation and the ecosystem around the player, right? Now, I think that has been what people have kind of pointed to with Jalen is that, all right, well, Jalen Hurts, like he's got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, the best offensive line in football. Now you throw in Saquon Barkley and the best run game, a legendary run game, one of the best run games we've ever seen in NFL history. If you take any quarterback and plop him in, like what would the numbers look like? What would the success look like? And that's been kind of the knock. And when I look at Daniel Jones, he goes from the situation with the Giants, and now it's a better ecosystem and a better situation, whether it was in Minnesota in 2024 for the limited time we saw him there, and then also now with the Colts. And before he got hurt, he was as efficient as any quarterback in football. They were putting up crazy numbers in the first half of last year before the injuries.
And you're run, and he wasn't run like you. How many read options did he run in New York? I mean, my God,
right.
It was ridiculous. And
yeah, and that's the thing is like you kind of like again trying to toe that line between what is it that this guy does well, and then how can we expand off of that, or do we just want to stay? Hey, he does these 5 things well. That's it. We're going to live right here. Versus, hey, these are the things he does well. Now let's branch off of that as well. That could still be our base, but let's figure out what are the other notes that we can play off of this as well.
So when you look at like, it's funny because Darnold, it was in a perfect spot with a run game he could lean on and then play action. And obviously he's got a ridiculous receiver, but, and a great OC, but it worked, right? Like that offense, that's making the rounds. That's what works in this league today.
Yeah, and that's what I mean is like to me, and we are right in the thick right now of like we're gonna rank our top 50 quarterbacks in the NFL right now, right? Like that's the big thing we talked last week about the Chris Sims ranking, right? And that's he's not the only one doing it. There are a bunch of people that are doing those kinds of lists, and there are going to be more coming out throughout the summer. The reality is that you've got the handful at the very top, and then to me, it's like, all right, where are those other tiers? The reality is most of those guys on those lists are scheme and situation dependent. And in any given year, if that scheme and that situation and health and all these other circumstances are all right and everything aligns, now that guy gets into the top 10 of these lists. If you would have said a year ago that Sam Darnold was going to be in the top 15 of these quarterback lists, you would have said, you're nuts. If you would have said a year ago that Jalen Hurts was going to be outside the top 20 on some of these lists, you'd say, you're nuts. This guy was a Super Bowl MVP. But when circumstances change, that's when there's all the, the tectonic plates all shift on these kinds of lists. But again, the majority of these guys, they're all right in that middle cluster. And then just depends on how that season goes. Like that's where we kind of dictate where they ultimately end up.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Let's look at the Chargers game last year. In that game, they said, all right, listen, Jalen's going to be on the center. We're going to do some different things. And yeah, he threw 4 picks, but he also made some good throws, like throws over the middle. And I don't know about you, but like to me, the biggest thing that Sirianni could do is stay out of the way of this offense and not be afraid of turnovers. Obviously, early, you're going to see turnovers. It's going to be part of it. It's going to be part of the growth. It's also part of doing cost of doing business. You can't turtle up. You got to continue with that path. Would you agree? It's my biggest worry.
Yeah, I think the big thing, and let's go because we're in the heart of baseball season right now. We're just talking about the Phillies. I think the best analogy I can make that can resonate with people, is that it's if you look at a baseball team, all right, and we say, do you want to be a small ball team, and we're gonna be a high on base percentage, and we're just gonna get guys on, and we're gonna try and manufacture runs. That can be a tough way to live in today's game, right? Or are we gonna go? We're gonna go for the long ball, right? We're gonna get a bunch of guys that can hit for power. We're gonna try and up our slugging percentage, and yeah, that's gonna come with strikeouts. That's gonna come with some cold spells, right? But when this lineup hits, we are going to hit and we're going to score a lot of runs, and we're just going to be manufacturing those runs at a higher rate. And the reality is, when you access the middle of the field in today's NFL, that is where your big plays are going to come. Not the 40-yard bombs outside the side, outside towards the sideline. Yeah, those are big plays. but they are harder to complete. And that's why we talked in the past about like some of these stats that are out there in terms of like completion percentage above expectation. Jalen Hurts always ranks near the top in those because so many of their big plays kind of relied on, hey, Jalen's gonna have to make a beautiful throw, touch, beautiful placement down the sideline, 35 yards, and Devontae Smith is going to make some crazy catch, and AJ Brown's going to go up and over a DB, and he's going to catch it off the top of his helmet, right? Like those are circus types of plays that are hard to replicate week in and week out. But if you are going to try and manufacture consistent plays, when you look at the way that Puka Nacua is not catching like 40-yard bombs down the field.
No.
Jackson Smith and Jigba is not catching 40-yard bombs down the field. They are big play receivers because they're catching the ball between the numbers, like 15 to 18 yards, and then you're creating 30-yard gains because it's catch on the run and yards after catch. It's deep.
I mean, it's the next evolution of the West Coast is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and they all come from that family, and it's just you get there through different machinations, right? Like, instead of it being like 3-step drop, 5-step drop, with the quarterback under center, it's a lot more play action and it's a lot more motion. It's all these things that we've talked about that are now being featured in this offense, it seems, right? And so I think it's going to be really interesting to kind of track that and just see how these numbers really evolve for the Eagles here this season.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by this whole thing because in that game, I went back and watched that Chargers game, and he made plays inside in that game. He made plays. Like I saw some good things within that game that tells me that with really good coaching, and I know Parks Frazier right now is going through back to basics, mechanics, steps, footwork, all that stuff. They're not even looking at a single play yet. It's all about mechanics right now. I love that. And seeing what I saw in that game, coupled with the idea of we're going to redo you and redo your mechanics, that gives me a lot of hope.
Yeah, when you mentioned like some of the throws he made in the middle of the field in that game, and you look at like the Minnesota game and some of those other instances where we saw it in small pockets here and there throughout the course of the season. Going back to the baseball analogy, like attacking the middle field, yeah, that's where the big plays happen, but there are more bodies in the middle of the field, and so more turnovers can happen. And that goes back to your point in terms of like not all interceptions are created equal. Not all interceptions are necessarily bad interceptions, or even the ones that you're like, oh, like that's a tough one. You know what? You got to live with them sometimes, right? Like you don't want them to happen in the worst moments. But look, if you're going to swing for the fences, sometimes you're going to swing and miss, and you're going to strike out, and that's okay. Like you can be aggressive and still be a really productive offense. And so I think that's kind of where you're at from that end of things, from a philosophical standpoint. And then when you talk about Parks Frazier kind of reworking everything from a footwork standpoint, so often over the last few years, when you watch Jalen Hurts drop back, and we've talked about it a lot on the show, is that his feet are not married up with the route concept. So he hits the top of his drop, and either that route, 3 out of the 5 routes are dead at this point. It's like, oh, like, all right, he's not going to get there. Or by the time he gets to his second progression, things aren't tied up. So now he has no choice but to scramble, right? And so now you're leaning into like some of like the worst parts of Jalen's skill set, where it's like, all right, like sometimes if he doesn't see it and that's his fault, and he turns down a throw, and now he's got to scramble. Well, you're not helping him either because some of the routes weren't necessarily tied up really well conceptually with what he's doing, right? And so you get into that tug of war as an analyst while watching from the outside. We're like, all right, well, some of these plays you're putting on the quarterback, some of these plays you're putting on like the structure. Do you blame the coaches for not always putting him in position to succeed? Should they be leaning into trying to get him to do more outside of his comfort zone? And that's became a tough unit to talk about over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I'm like that. All part of it is so fascinating to me. Is we're achieving that skill, like reteaching that the basics, but going into that skill that it takes, because it's different than 3-step ball out, right? Like with Dak runs is a little different, right? Because the ball's just out in under 3 seconds. Boom, 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 ball's out. And this is a little different because you really are relying so heavily on your run game to kind of end the motion that it's a different offense.
Yeah, there are going to be keys for Jalen built into the offense where, you're hoping that you can kind of accelerate some of those progressions, right? But it kind of gets back to what I was saying, earlier that so often Jalen would drop back, and he talked about this last week. That's why, like, it was kind of like music to my ears hearing him talk about the offense and some of the changes. It's like, yeah, like we were too matchup focused, where it's like, all right, like, yeah, we're going to find whether it's AJ, Devontae, Dallas, whoever like the primary read is. It was up to Jalen before the snap to say, like, okay, based off of this pre-snap look from the defense, that's going to dictate where my eyes are going to go before the snap. The reality is that defenses now are getting too good with their disguises to fool a quarterback like Jalen. And if that's not like, if he's not elite in that area, then he's going to struggle. And again, so often he would say like, all right, I'm going to drop back. I want to throw to Devontae because I think it's going to be one high look here, and that's where I'm.
Yeah, then the end drops back in the coverage. And that's
he drops back and he's like, oh, they changed it. That's not what I thought it was going to be. And now I've got to get over to the second read. Well, by the time I get over to the second read, it's all the way over the other side. We're in scramble drill mode now. And that's what I mean is that by leaning too far that way, you're leaning into some of the negatives of Jalen's game. And that's why hearing him talk about that, and if he's really like embracing that full on, I'm excited. I'm excited to see it play out.
Yeah, I am too. I'm fired up over it, man.
Let's go.
And you saw the Jordan Mailata quote that about, once again, you have it.
Mannion's an evil genius, but if you had to put the three smartest people in the building in a room, he'd be all three.
It would just be him. I do want to hear what makes him an evil genius, but the genius part that is absolutely good to hear.
Yeah, huge.
Were you surprised Nick's not in the room? Of the three smartest people in the building?
Well, that's why I'm sure Jordan didn't mean for it to come off that way. But I'm sure he's
Sigmund Freud might disagree with you.
Yeah, I think he's trying to heap praise on the new offensive coordinator for sure.
Oh yeah, Nick. Yeah,
he's right outside the door.
He's in the room. He's in the bathroom.
It's like at the end of Godfather. He's K as the door shuts. In front of him.
The door shut and he's looking like that's the greatest.
They got while you two football guys are here, ESPN released their power index for this year this morning.
Hold the thought.
All right.
We got to take quick TO. We'll do the power index, which I love that stuff.
All right.
And I want to do some college football with you. All right.
Okay.
All right. Lots to do. This is I love this stuff. But first, how about a word from our friends, Valley Forge? Let's talk about it. You know that feeling you need a quick reset? You don't feel like dealing with airports, long drives, overcomplicated travel plans. It's why Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, such a great getaway spot for us. Got a little bit of everything: history, shopping, entertainment, outdoor adventure, great food, all just outside the city. You can spend the day exploring Valley Forge National Historical Park, hit the shops at King of Prussia, check out live entertainment, or explore some of the amazing small towns and hidden gems throughout Montgomery County. And with America celebrating 250 years this summer, never been a better time to experience the history and stories that helped shape this country. Whether it's a couples trip, family weekend, sports road trip, or a chance to unplug for a few days, Montgomery County makes it easy to get away without going far. Plan your trip, book your stay, start your retreat today. ValleyForge.org. That's ValleyForge.org. Wawa's got tacos. Tacos. Oh, Wawa expanding its freshly prepared food lineup with new seasoned beef tacos available for a limited time. Built to deliver bold, craveable flavor in every bite. We're talking warm, soft tortillas filled with Wawa's savory, juicy, boldly seasoned beef, plus fresh toppings that you can customize your way. You got options too, from seasoned beef, chicken, steak, black beans, shredded cheddar cheese. Pick up 2 spreads like salsa roja, garlic aioli, barbecue, ranch, buffalo, chipotle, and you top it off with shredded lettuce, salsa, fire roasted corn, onions, or pickled jalapenos, all packed in a 6-inch soft flour tortilla, making it perfect handheld or on-the-go option. Seasoned beef tacos doesn't stop, all right? It's available across the full lineup, including burritos, bowls, and quesadillas, so you can mix and match and build the meal that fits your appetite. But don't wait. The lineup is only here for a limited time while supplies last. Next time you're at Wawa, grab a taco and find your new go-to order. All right, back live with our man Films. Francis Films. We love St. Francis. All right, you got something. Power Index. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm curious. Give me your top 10. See where you guys think they are. Who's number 1?
This is just team index?
Yes. Power
Rams.
Index teams. Rams. Yes.
Rams.
Number 2. They give the Rams a 15% chance to win the Super Bowl. Number 2.
Seattle.
Seattle's number 4.
Okay. Where's Buffalo on that list?
Number 2.
There we go.
Dude, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's why I was
I'm
interested.
dubious of Buffalo. How about you?
If you think that there's a drop off a bit there with New England potentially, it's like, all right, they were running hot last year. They had a really weak schedule. Obviously, they've added some players this offseason, but I could see Buffalo being included on a list like that, even with the change at head coach.
But I'm dubious of them. I got to tell you,
Yeah.
you know what? The AFC's bad. I got a feeling that it's going to be like a Cincinnati or maybe a Houston if he can figure it out how to play quarterback and they can protect him. I think and the team that I keep wondering, and I don't think they have enough offensively, is the Chargers. Like if I'm the Chargers, I would have been in on AJ Brown.
Yeah, and Myles Garrett, to be honest.
Yes.
I think both of those, I would say you kind of look at and say like, man, like could the Chargers have gotten in on either of those deals? I do think the addition of Mike McDaniel kind of gives them a little bit of teeth there offensively, and I think the new look there that'll kind of freshen things up. So I'm excited to see that from that standpoint. But the other thing with them is that they've got to stay healthy. That's been a big issue for them over the course of the last few years.
Chargers are 9 in the Power Index.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just talking about those teams that have it. Like, because I look at the AFC, like I think all the best teams are in the NFC.
Number 3, Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore, yeah. To me, I think you're looking at the quarterbacks in the AFC, and I think that you're getting more of the total picture there in the NFC. So I think you're right.
I'm
with Burrow,
dubious of
Lamar.
Baltimore. Again, you're talking about McDermott and Harbaugh, long mainstay coaches that leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yep.
like I saw it in Tampa where Gruden took over Tony Dungy's team. They were really good and they won. But I look at their rosters and I'm suspect. Does the Bills have enough around Josh? Is Lamar fixed? He had a tough year last year.
I think I'm a little more dubious on Buffalo than I am with Baltimore. I think with Baltimore, I'm excited about what they did from an offensive standpoint with Declan Doyle. That's a guy I think that there's upside there.
Good for the Bears.
Coming from the Bears, but previously, I mean, he cut his teeth under Sean Payton. So like the tree that he's come from, I'm really excited to see what that can kind of look like. And then I think just they're going to maintain defensively, just with Jesse Minter. I think that they're going to do all the same things that they've always been, just because he's been an orchestrator of that defense in the past. So I think that they kind of hit the ground running there. Whereas in Buffalo, we have all the same questions offensively because they didn't really change much there, and then defensively, it's a complete overhaul, both from a coaching standpoint and from a personnel standpoint. So I think that there's a little bit more volatility there with the Bills.
But let me ask you a question about Lamar, because I got to tell you, I didn't think he played well last year.
Yeah, and that's where I think that you throw in Declan Doyle and see like, all right, are they able to get a little bit more out of it? And look, some of that is on Lamar as well. He's never healthy when you get to the end of the season. So are they able to kind of save him a little bit? There's volatility certainly with Derrick Henry. Like, how much longer can he keep up his level of play? So, there are reasons to question Baltimore, but I think I feel a little bit better about them than I do Buffalo.
All right, we got Seahawks 4, number 5, 49ers.
I don't see it.
Number 6, Detroit Lions. Number 7.
Yeah, I'm hoping to bounce back there. Yep.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I think Kansas City's in the mix.
Number
The only problem is you've lost a ton on defense. I talked to Spags. Was it last week? He was in Lauderdale, and we were. He's like, I go, dude. He's like, yeah, man. I got to roll my sleeves up again. Now their offense should be back.
Should be, and that's the thing. It's like Mahomes, it looks like he's, quote unquote, ahead of schedule. I would imagine that he's going to be out there by the time we get to week 1, just by how the schedule makers kind of laid things out there for the Chiefs. I would imagine that kind of the word behind the scenes is that he's going to be available for them. So, we'll see. That offense has just been missing some of its teeth over the last couple of years. They're not quite as explosive. I know they bring Eric Bieniemy back, but I don't know. They've always kind of left me wanting a little bit offensively over the last couple of years.
Number 8, Green Bay Packers.
I don't see it.
That's surprising.
You might have to go to the eye doctor.
I like the Bears. I like the Bears better than Green Bay.
Oh man, Bears
have the Packers, I think, have a little bit of an easier schedule. Obviously you got Micah coming back off the injury. You've got Jordan Love. You got Jaden Reed potentially coming back. From his injury, he was banged up for most of last year. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't buy Love.
That's surprising.
I could overrate because I am in love with Ben Johnson, and I believe in Caleb, and everybody's telling me the Bears regress, and they could regress from a record standpoint, but they're good.
A good team.
Offense is legit. I love Colston Loveland. I believe it goes back to the quarterback. I believe in Caleb. I don't believe that Jordan Love. I like him, but again, he's too much like this for me, and he has those games where he's flat.
Yeah, I think Caleb's got a little bit of that to him as well. But then I think, honestly, both guys I would put in that same bucket where I think there's volatility. Caleb's younger, so you would expect some of that volatility with him. But yeah, they are.
I think he went like this with Ben Johnson. And maybe it's because I believe in him that I think that this goes away and becomes more of an arc.
The big thing with Green Bay is that there was a major brain drain there from a coaching staff standpoint on both sides of the ball. I mean, we know that the Eagles have plucked some of the offensive coaching staff, but they lost defensive coaches, not just Jeff Hafley leaving for the Miami Dolphins head job and bringing guys with them, but their DB coach left to be the defensive coordinator for Christian Parker, or the pass game coordinator for Christian Parker down in Dallas. So they lost good people in the front office. They've suffered a lot from a coaching staff standpoint there in Green Bay.
Where are the Eagles at?
I'm getting there.
12.
Number 9
13.
are your Los Angeles Chargers, and number 10, Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, they were 10. All right.
Behind the Packers.
Behind the Packers, ahead of Chicago.
That. I think it's the Eagles defense. The Eagles in the NFC. Listen, I know Myles Garrett's in LA and they got the Kansas City secondary, so they're going to be great. But the Eagles defense is legit, man.
And a lot of continuity there. Obviously, you lose Christian Parker, but outside of that,
keep everybody
across the rest of that defense.
Yes.
That surprises me.
I'll be honest with you. I would have the Eagles much higher. I would have the Bears in the mix. I would have Dallas in the mix. I'd take Dallas over the Packers.
Yeah, the Green Bay ranking is the most surprising one there for me. I've been pretty high on Green Bay over the last couple of years, but for the reasons I mentioned, I do think that they are going to be closer to the middle of the pack preseason for me, as opposed to up there in the top 10.
These are their projections of their power index, so they have the Eagles at 9-7, basically. Well,
9-7.
No, hold on. Their projected wins are between 9.7. And their losses are 7 points. These are all computers.
By the way, we are on the clock thanks to Ashley. So this is awesome. This is a great conversation. I don't know what they're looking at. On the clock with Francis Films, St. Francis of football. Brought to us by Ashley.
So their projections, they give the Eagles a 4.1% chance of winning the Super Bowl.
4.1. How you come up with that equation?
Computers, man. Computers.
Stop. Nobody knows anything. But how could you even possibly get the frig out of here with this nonsense? Wait till the top 10 includes the Bengals. Like, these teams come from nowhere. Don't let Burrow stay healthy.
I look at 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I look at Super Bowl percentage chances, the Bengals are 11th.
11.
11th.
All right.
Houston is 12th.
Yeah, I mean, a lot. They're in the same boat as Dallas. Like, I'd put Cincinnati and Dallas neck and neck just because it's like, all right,
yes.
Do you believe in the defense
yes.
getting to middle of the pack? I think I have a little more faith in Dallas's defense to get there as opposed to Cincinnati's, but Cincinnati absolutely could as well.
Only because you're in a weaker conference. Like, honestly, if I'm the Chargers, I think I blew an opportunity. Like, if I would have went not all in, but you're right. Like the Myles Garrett situation, I would have got another weapon on the outside.
You know the team that I'm actually surprised isn't in there? VG, I didn't hear Denver.
Let me look at their projections here.
Were they like 12, 13?
On their
I don't believe in Denver, dude. I don't believe in them.
Where the hell are they? They're like 10th, 11th, 12th, like 15th, 14th, 15th.
I would imagine our friends out at DNVR would be not thrilled by that. I mean, this is a team that was in the AFC title game. They haven't lost a lot from a coaching staff standpoint or from a player standpoint. They added Jalen Waddle to that offense.
Yeah. I don't know. Something about that team, I was a little,
It's a good defense. It's a good defense.
It is.
Franny,
defense is very good.
What's your reaction if we say the brain's been on our show?
Oh, wait. Hold on.
All right.
Hold on.
All right.
All right. You got to do one more.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
One more, and then we'll throw that at Fran.
Yes.
We're not going to get to college football until later in the week. Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick. Let's take a quick TO. Talk about our friends. Parks Casino, Street Road Bed, Salem has you covered for all kinds of entertainment this summer. Whatever you're into, whatever type of music you want, whatever type of dining, like you want the Parks Grill Steakhouse, right? You got that. You got Chickies and Pete's. You got the Bamboo Noodle House. You got all kinds of stuff. The Liberty Bell Gastropub. You want little Latin night? You have that. You want country line dancing? You got that. You want all the tables, all the hottest slots, the poker room, the sports book. It's never ending, the fun at Parks Casino. And all the big acts in the Excite Center, whether it's magicians or rock bands, legends, they're all there. They all come through. ParksCasino.com to find out all the people and all the acts and buy tickets. You got to be 21 Street Road, exit off of Ben Salem. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you're a golfer in Philly and you're not part of the Gap yet, you're leaving a ton on the table. Gap, the Golf Association of Philadelphia, is your all-access pass to the best golf in the area. Their member play days get you on the top private clubs and premier golf courses you normally can't even touch. And it's all in a relaxed, fun format. No pressure, just great golf. And when you join, you get a GIN handicap, which changes everything. It levels the playing field, tracks your game over time, and makes every round actually mean something. Plus, for a low annual cost, you unlock access to events, championships, discounted tee times in the entire Gap network. It's the hub for amateur golf in the greater Philadelphia area. Getting started is pretty easy. Just visit gapgolf.org and click join or get a handicap. You can sign up for the online USGA Gap Club for just $55 and get instant access to your membership and get a handicap, or you can host your own handicap through a local public or private golf course that offers Gap. Once you're in, you're in. Events, exclusive courses, all of it. Go to gapgolf.org and get started today.
All right. So Francis got a bolt in a minute.
All right. Franny, real quick. Brain told us his prediction, and he bet heavily to win the Super Bowl. Dallas Cowboys.
Heavily? I mean, this is a team that hasn't gotten past the second round, so I don't know if I can go heavily. But
right, they're the Sixers.
This is a team that if you were to say, like, all right, who are the top 3 dark horses in the NFL this year, I think Dallas is on that list.
Oh,
I thought you were going to go the brain under Eagles win total.
Oh, well, yeah, he's not good with the win total. Let's see, 8?
Yeah,
under 9.5, but he's leaning. He thinks it's near 8.
Yeah. I don't think that would not be received well.
It was not.
All right, I know you got to go. I love that line. Yeah, that would not be received well. All right, yeah, I'm not going there. I agree with you. It's over. Francis, we love you. Thanks, buddy.
See you guys.
See you, pal.
Not today.
Not today.
No.
No. Chat's already upset. We're not going there. By the way, the Eagles defense alone is wins 9 games for you. And then the offense will win their share.
Yeah, I think they win 10 games.
Listen, there's no way they're not a double-digit win team.
I would agree with you.
You can't go 10-7 with this team, with this defense.
Yeah, I think they do.
With Saquon and Jalen and O-line
They
and
better.
Devontae.
They better.
Come on. You got to get to 10.
They better.
I'm not saying you got to go 15-2, but
more Nick. If they're a 9-win team, Nick is not here.
No, I agree. I don't think that's an issue. I don't. I could do this every day. What's that?
Do you want to take a look at the cover?
No, save it for tomorrow.
All right.
Because I might want to do a little. All
right. Well, yeah. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So I start grunting. Chat. Love you, chat. Bye.
Fart's leaving us for one last chat. Brain's a world-class jackass.
Jules rules.
Julia.
Thanks, everybody. We love you guys. Have a great day. Go Phils. See you in the morning.
We all silly like the mayor.